All right, all right. That's right, man. Round of applause, man. Thank you, Jeff, man, for bringing us in with that great introduction, man. But yeah, man, we back, man. It's Heart of the City, man. You know what it is, man. We go around the city with all New York City area sports. I'm glad to be joined by my two co-hosts, my main man, Big Bro, Coach Ed Gladney, and my big homie Jeffy T85, man. Got his eyes on the Brooklyn Nets right now. But how y'all doing right now, man? How y'all doing, man? Sorry for the late start, but had a little technical difficulties, man. But how y'all doing tonight, man? Coach Jeffy, what's good?
I'm good, bro. What about you?
Doing
Maintaining,
well.
maintaining, man. All is well, all is good, man. As long as the Nets and the Giants is winning. But
Mhm.
Holy shit.
let's give a shout out to the chat. Um,
Mhm.
got my man Nimmer in the chat. He says, "I hope the Giants can beat the Cowgirls." Yeah, I will agree with those sentiments, Mr. Nimmer. Um, my man Levance, much love and respect, everyone, man. Shout out to you, Levance, man. Appreciate you, man, pulling up,
Cece, Ronnie.
holding us down. Definitely shout out to the ladies, man. Wifey, of course, there each and every day, each
Yes.
and every night. And also shout out to Miss Ronnie, man.
What
Shout out
up,
to Miss
Ronnie?
Ronnie, man.
What up,
Appreciate you,
Nisky?
man. Appreciate you coming in, supporting the show.
What up,
Um,
Vance? Nimar?
but what's good, y'all? What's good, man? How y'all feeling, man? New York City, man. You know what I'm saying? We're going around the league.
Well,
And I want to get into a little bit of a want to get into a little bit of a kind of like a little rapid fire here as we go, and we're going to touch on each team, but then we're going to get into more in depth with it. But I'm gonna kind of throw a question around
yes.
with each squad, and then we can go ahead and react to it. So
Mhm.
let's set it off with the Giants. We're going rapid fire here around the city. Y'all hit that like button, man. We're gonna set it off with the Giants. We know everybody love the Giants, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a New York Giants city. You know what I'm saying? As
Mhm.
far as football is concerned. So let's set it off with the Giants. Of course, the Giants lost 31-18 to the Detroit Lions. Um, and you had some people upset. You got people panicking. You have people,
Oh,
you know what I'm saying, a little bit on edge, so to speak. And the reason that is because the Giants fans got to see what the team looks like with Daniel Jones throwing a ball over 30 times.
Mhm.
So rapid fire, just a yes, no, and a quick explanation. Set it off with you, coach. Can the New
Mhm.
York Giants win with Daniel Jones throwing the football over 30 times like he did? Basically throwing them
Um,
in games or keeping them in games by throwing.
right now, the way the team constructed, no, we don't have the proper skill set. Even if you try to scheme it, it's just not functional. The bottom line is you need more pieces for him to be able to pass like that.
I totally agree. I totally agree. We're gonna pass it off to you, Jeff. Quick, man, rapid fire, man. Do you think the Giants can win with Daniel Jones throwing the ball 30 plus times a game?
no. And I'll say it because of the banged up mess right now, the offensive line and the wide receiver cores right now. We don't have the players to be able to hold up, especially in pass protection or players at the skill positions to get the job done.
And I totally agree. I do not think that this New York Giants football team with the O line and the wide receivers they got can win with Daniel Jones throwing the ball 30 plus times a game. Now, to the other New York team, Zach Wilson. 9 for 22, 77 yards, 3 rushes, 26 yards, and a loss to the Patriots. Simple question here. Is it time for the Jets to start thinking about moving on from Zach Wilson?
No.
Okay.
And here's why. Because he's still young and he has to develop. I mean, that's just the bottom line. He's young. And he hasn't had a lot of games, too. So, it's only, a year and a half. So,
Okay. What you think, Jeff?
No, you can't give up on a kid who's only in his second year. And sure, some of the comments he makes, you know, give you that uncomfortable feeling that he had in the press conference, but you can't give up on a kid when he's still in the middle of his second year.
I'll disagree with that, and I think the Jets should absolutely look to move on from Zach Wilson. This is a ready-made team. If you see it, if you feel it, and it's not there, dip. Because if you keep holding on to him and you keep wasting time, then the Jets are going to be the ones losing out because they have a team that's good enough now to win, but what's holding them back is the quarterback position. Um, let's switch gears to the basketball. Like I said, we're going rapid fire here. We're going to cover all the teams before we get into the meat and potatoes of the segment. Brooklyn Nets. Jeffy, you on deck. Quick question before we get in deep. Given what you've seen out of Ben Simmons, 2-game win streak. Now the game's going on tonight, so we don't want to get it too ahead of ourselves. But 2-game win streak. Has Ben Simmons turned the corner, in your opinion?
He's turning the corner, but I have to see more from Simmons before I could say he's fully turned the corner. But he's definitely looking like he's playing more aggressive basketball than he did earlier in the season.
All right, cool. What you think, Coach?
Has he turned the corner? No. Is he in the right? Is he trending in the right way? Yes, but he's not there as yet.
I'm gonna say he has turned the corner. And I got some film to back up what I'm saying, but we'll get into that later. Knicks. Let's get into the Knicks real quick. Knicks 9-9. Coming off a win the other night. Now are the Knicks going to compete or be in the playoffs this year?
Unfortunately, yes. The way the East is constructed, yes.
Unfortunately, elaborate on that, Coach. Unfortunately,
they're not constructed the right way, plain and simple. But because of the way the East is, they're going to get in on the back end. And I just don't trust a lot of the other teams, that they're competing with. To Chicago, we don't know what's up with them, and is what's his name, Lamelo, not Lamelo, LeVar. No, wait a minute.
Lonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo. Duh. Alonzo, I think, is out for the year, and right now was showing that they really need him. The Raptors,
I see you, Breezy.
the
Uh,
Raptors are up and down. The Hawks, the Wizards, even the Pacers. I mean, they're competing with all those teams. Even the Cavaliers. I mean, the Cavaliers are somewhat
mm-hmm.
inconsistent. So, you know, can they make? And right now, they're sitting in the eighth spot, and they're going to be battling with the Sixers, the Nets, who I think eventually will move their way, push their way back up, which will push some of the other teams back down. So, um, and unfortunately, the way they are constructed, they have enough talent to squeak in, to get in, but their talent says that they are much better. And to me, it's the coaching. So yes, that's why I say unfortunately. And
Okay.
this is from someone who hasn't really. I think I've seen two games all year, but from a lot of the highlights and researching and checking out those who really know. That's where I get my assessment from.
Right on. What you feel about this, Jeff? About this Knicks team? Do you think they have enough to make the playoffs?
Talent wise, yes. I mean, I agree with the similar things that Coach says. The talent on this team and the fact that the East is not off to the greatest of starts overall, I do think that the Knicks will find a way to get into at least the play-in game or possibly even like the eighth seed.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to my guns and say the Knicks do get into the playoffs. And shout out to Nimmer. I know he's a big Knicks fan, so
Mhm.
I pose this question for you. Um, I think they do get into the playoffs, but I don't think they go far. let's just let's just put it like that. You know what I'm saying? The East is weak, um, but this team is talented. But like Coach said, I don't think they're put together properly. Um, so let's get on to the baseball.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yankees, Mets,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob DeGrom, Aaron Judge. So there's rumors that the Mets are, or at least the Giants, maybe the Mets too, have been talking with Judge, and there's also rumors that the Yankees reached out to Jacob DeGrom. So, in your opinion, or your unpopular opinion, who do you prefer? Jacob DeGrom, all-world pitcher, Cy Young Award winner, or Mr. MVP Aaron Judge? Who would you prefer?
Do you want to take this one first, Coach, or do you want me to take it?
Any one of y'all can go. I know it's a tough question.
It's
I'll start it.
okay.
Is It has to be pitching first. It's always pitching first. Pitching is what will take you and possibly lead you to the championship. Hitting is important. Don't get me wrong. And Judge is the face of baseball, and he's just that dynamic, and he's pretty much complete. You can't even equate injuries because they're both injury prone per se. So, but when you break it all the way down, it's always comes down to pitching over hitting.
Yeah.
Jeff?
I hate to say it, like Coach and I are agreeing on a lot right now, but yeah, I got to go pitching. When it comes down to it in the playoffs, what do most teams win with? Timely hitting
Mm-hmm.
and good pitching. And that's
Mm-hmm.
why pitching is always more important. So yeah, I got to take DeGrom over Judge, and DeGrom's already proven to be a solid player in the playoffs. Well, Judge, we're still waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, I would agree with you guys, but I'm going Aaron Judge here. He's younger. Um, he doesn't have the significant injury history that Degrom has, and I just think he's a better fit for the Yankees. Um, Now, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I would if it was Degrom versus Garrett Cole, no brainer. You know what I'm saying? But my MVP versus your MVP. And I don't even is he your MVP?
He's a Cy Young winner, multiple time Cy Young winner, 2 times.
Mhm.
Right, but is he your MVP, the most valuable player on your team, or is that Pete Alonso? So
I'd probably say DeGrom was, but now I think it's shifted more towards Pete Alonso or Jeff McNeil.
Does the
right,
MVP go to pitchers? Doesn't it go to the player, the
the
position players?
Yeah, yeah, it does.
the award does, Coach. But I'm asking
Yes.
Jeff from a standpoint because if we as Yankee fans were to argue who's our MVP, Garrett Cole or Aaron Judge, you would
Aaron
automatically say
Judge.
Aaron Judge. So it's about who's the most valuable player on your team.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was asking Jeff, not from the league standpoint,
Mm-hmm.
just from a fan standpoint. Who do you value the most on your team?
Mm-hmm.
And
Well,
that's Jacob DeGrom, or is it Pete
Mm-hmm.
Alonso? And like Jeff
Mm-hmm.
I,
said, it may have shift because I know.
it has shifted.
Go
It's
ahead, Jeff.
because we can't rely on Degrom consistently. Plus, he only pitches once every 5 days. While guys like I would say Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil are the co-MVPs of this team because they're counted on most of the season. They're out there for most of the games, and Degrom and Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil have both been consistent enough staying on the field. Well, Degrom, it's very hard to rely on the past couple of years. So I would have said Degrom originally, but now I got to go with Jeff McNeil and Pete Alonso as the co-MVPs of this team.
Okay.
Okay, I could, I get it, I get it. Now one last question
Mm-hmm.
on this rapid fire segment. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
given what we seen, and I'm going to you, Coach, out of the college landscape as far as college football is concerned, which program do you think has a higher trajectory? Is it Syracuse or Rutgers? Go.
In what sport?
Let's.
Is it all sports, athletic, through the
I
academic
don't.
department,
I
or
can't. I can't do all sports because I'm not that. I'm not there with you. So let's just stick
Football.
to the mainstream, the football. Yeah.
um, trajectory? It's going to be Rutgers because they're in a better conference, hands down. I mean, I know everyone's going to kill and say, "Oh,
Yes.
well, they're not competing," and all this and that. I believe that they will compete. Syracuse is always going to be a middle of the pack in the ACC, and the ACC is just
Hmm.
it's not top notch. I mean, I'm sorry to say that. I like a lot of the teams in the ACC, but most of those teams, other than maybe Clemson, maybe Notre Dame because they're partially in here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to say North Carolina because I'll also include basketball into that.
Hmm.
They'll be inclusive in the top third of the league in football and basketball. But if you're going to ask me that, in just in terms of their trajectory, it has to be Rutgers. And once Rutgers, gets their recruiting down, and I think they will. Believe you me, they're not going to be on the bottom end of the Big Ten East. And also, I think with when USC and possibly UCLA comes in, I think they're going to redo the whole conference, so it might make it a little bit easier for Rutgers to compete. So you're not going to be going up against Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State on a consistent basis. So their trajectory, to me, is different. Basketball, you already see they're already competing. Women, they're down, but when they get the recruits, they always compete. So, if I'm going to look at the overall, because Syracuse does have good women's basketball, men's and women's basketball programs.
Yeah.
But trajectory in terms of those three, the meat and potatoes, to me, it's going to be Rutgers.
Mm-hmm.
Good answer, Coach. Good answer, Coach. What you think, Jeff? And then I'm gonna get to a couple comments.
I agree with Coach because mainly because of the conference they play in. No disrespect to Syracuse, they have been the better football team the past couple of
Mhm.
years. But Rutgers is going to get those recruits coming in very soon. They're on their way already, and I think that the upside for Rutgers is going to be a little bit higher because of the fact they're in the Big Ten, which is the strongest conference right now in the NCAA football. So, and if you're talking about just the program overall in athletics, yeah, it's going to be Rutgers. Rutgers right now just has the collective better overall teams.
Mhm.
And the football program, it will be on the rise. The basketball program is already pretty well. The women's program that has been strong for many years, it's in a down period right now, but I think they'll find a way to bounce back. So, yeah, I have to say Rutgers. I agree with Coach. No
There's one
disrespect to
other
Syracuse.
there's one other thing too about the football program. I saw from one of the guys who I correlate with, in terms of Rutgers, and he posted something that I did not realize. Right now, Rutgers this year is comprised of 65% on their 2D chart. 65% of the kids who were recruited by Chris Ash. And
Wow.
that right there tells you, because Chris Ash was a horrible coach and a recruiter. And
Yes.
that tells me everything I need to know. Because and that's what I mean by Rutgers is going to get the recruits. Once you phase all those, I mean, you had the super seniors with the COVID, so a lot of those guys stayed on because they knew they weren't going to get into the NFL.
Oof.
These guys are going to end up going out. And Rutgers is going to continue to bring in their guys. Shiano's going to continue to bring in his guys. He's making leeways down in Florida. He's making leeways out into the Midwest. He's trying to lock up the state of Rutgers, which is New York, New Jersey, the eastern part of Pennsylvania, Delaware, and down into Maryland. And right now he's getting those 3 and bottom 4 stars. But once he starts getting them, and once he starts beating Maryland on a consistent basis, those kids because Maryland has a good hotbed in terms of talent, those kids are going to come to Rutgers. They're not going to just consistently go to Maryland. They're going to come to Rutgers, and it's just going to transition. So, and also the money. You know, I know Shiano talks NIL, and it's important to get the NIL, but the selling point is if you can get a lot of the New York the tri-state New York City businesses to support the kids, then it's going to compete with the Ohio State, the USC's, the UCLA's, the
Ugh.
Michigan, because you're going to have the money behind you then, and that's really all it boils down to. And you're in the biggest market in the world, so and if you get that behind you financially, then it's right there. Kids are going to say, "Oh, I come to New York, I can, make the right connections. I can get the money. I can compete in the Big Ten, and you're going to be winning. And you have NFL teams right in your own backyard. You literally have four, because I'm going to include the Washington, because
Mhm.
they're only 2.5 hours, 3 hours from MetLife Stadium. Philly is right there. I mean, from Rutgers Stadium. So, and then of course you have the Giants and the Jets. So Rutgers is positioned better than most people realize. It's just that they haven't been winning. And if they win, I'm telling you, it's
It's a wrap. I already
exactly.
know. I already know, man. And I share those sentiments like you, Coach. I think Rutgers football is definitely on the come up. And I would favor Syracuse in the basketball program. Just for right now. But
Mhm.
yeah, definitely. I do feel the Rutgers coming on. You know what I'm saying? Coming on
Mhm.
strong, man. Coming on strong, man. Scarlet Knight, man. Let's get to a couple comments. Um, Nimmer says, Ronnie, I guess he posed this to Ronnie. Do you think the Knicks can beat the Trailblazers? Um, yeah, the Nets beat them, so why not? um, do you guys want Odell Beckham Jr. back home? I want him back in a New York Giants uniform. Um, Let me touch on this OBJ situation real briefly. Is my audio good?
Mhm.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I got to be mindful of that. But so OBJ apparently according to reports, has narrowed down his teams to the Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, we seen the Giants Sunday struggle. Um, I don't necessarily think it was the wide receivers that were the problem, but you got some fans saying that I guess if Beckham was in there, it would have been a different ball game. But I don't, I don't see that. Um, but let's entertain this for a minute. So,
Breaking news, breaking news. Sorry.
uh,
I just got a instant notification on CBS Sports. MLB clears the Yankees and the Mets of collusion over the Jaron Judge free agency per report.
Yeah,
I just got that right now.
yeah. That was about an hour. I think they report like about 30 or an hour ago. They
Oh,
said
okay.
that. Thank
See,
God.
so that's big right there. That's real big. So they're not getting into any trouble and they're not going to lose. I think they would have lost draft picks, right, as well as money.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's a big thing right there. So now you can just brush that off and keep on going.
And what's going to stop the Mets from trying to make an offer for Aaron Judge?
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they, I think they are.
Oh, they are. They
Um,
Mm-hmm.
better.
Mm-hmm.
They
Mm-hmm.
better do that.
yeah, I think they are. But we're gonna say that for a little bit later because
Mm-hmm.
I got an unpopular opinion on that.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. That's a good tease. But I just want to answer Nimmer's question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
Mm-hmm.
guys want Odell Beckham Jr. back home? I want him back in the Giants uniform. I do, Nimmer. I do want OBJ to come back, but there's circumstances, and the circumstances are this Giants team, as currently constructed, is not the right fit for OBJ at
Hmm.
this particular time.
Hmm.
Now, people can come on here or on Twitter and want to give me some pushback on that. That's fine. Look,
Oh.
I'm a OBJ fan. I got two of his jerseys. I had one on Sunday when I did my podcast. So don't get it twisted. Like, I don't want OBJ back. Like, I was never one of those ones that wanted him traded. I was pissed off at the trade. I still don't like Gettleman for that shit. Even though, they said we won the trade, we got Dexter Lawrence. Okay, yeah. Dexter Lawrence is a dominant player. So I give you that. But now you flip the coin over, people want OBJ back. Same people that wanted him gone. Never mind that for a minute though. The fact of the matter is he a right fit for this team right now? Remember, you are struggling with offensive continuity as it is right now. You know what I'm saying? As far as everybody being on the same page, you are also struggling with your offensive line and having your quarterback get enough time to throw the ball down the field, which is what you need Odell Beckham Jr. for, right? Why are you
Mm-hmm.
going to give him a bunch of bubble screens and shit like that? You could, but he's coming here to be a number one wide receiver. That's my third thing. A number one wide receiver coming off 2 ACL tears because that's what Giants fans are going to be expecting. They're going to be expecting this guy to come in here and save this franchise from the wide receiver struggles that they've had basically since he left. So, how is it that some of you fans, I'm not saying Nimmer, but a lot of fans expect OBJ to come in here and be what he was in 2016, 2015, 2014? That's my issue. It's too, the expectations are too high. And I don't believe that Odell Beckham Jr. at this stage in his career can meet the expectations that the New York Giants fans are putting on him. Now, I don't want him to go to Dallas either. I think what Odell Beckham Jr. should do is sit out the rest of this year, get his body right, and then sign with the New York Giants in the offseason when we have the money, when we can go out there and get other weapons and other pieces to help this offense, when we're going to have 11 draft picks. You know what I'm saying? When you can bring all your guys that you coming in here into a training camp, into an off season to get the continuity, to get the chemistry. You're going to have a healthy Odell Beckham Jr. coming back off an injury. Hopefully a healthy Saquon, a healthy Daniel Jones. Hopefully you can bring Slayton back. Wan'Dale Robinson should get back healthy. And then you go draft a guy. Now you cooking. Or you can be impatient, be knuckleheads, want OBJ to come back in here right now, get mad when he got one catch for 5 yards against the Philadelphia Eagles. Because that's what Giants fans going to do. We know this fan base. So, Giants fans, pump the brakes on OBJ. I don't believe the Cowboys smoke, to be honest with you. Lil C signs a 1-year deal for the rest of the season. I don't know if Jerry Jones is going to go out there and give OBJ a 3 or 4 year deal just to stick it to the New York Giants, because that's what he would be doing. Because any GM with any type of sense is going to wait or want to wait to see if the guy's actually healthy before you throw a bunch of money at him. Am I right or wrong, Coach? Maybe I'm tripping.
I get
Any
where you're
GM
coming from.
with any type of sense should want to see,
Yes.
put him out there on the practice field and hope he does great, and then get him in the game against number one wide receivers and I mean number one cornerbacks, and then he not look the same. So that's what I would caution Giants fans at. Don't get your
Defense
expectations
was that.
too high. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want OBJ back. I do. But I just don't think this is the right time for him to come in right now with the expectations that the fans have for this team. But I said my piece on that. Y'all go ahead and take it.
All right, I'm going to take it right now. All right. I get where you're coming from as a fan. I do.
Mhm.
And, it's logical to think that way as a fan. I get it. Number one, all right, in terms of the business aspect of it, what's to say they don't give him a small prorated contract for this year, but now you backload everything going into next year to give him his money, and then say it's the rest of this year and 2 years after that, even with a team option after that. Is that a lot? Yes. But if the team option is easy to get out of, business wise, I can understand it. It also allows you to bring him in and you help facilitate his recovery. Because right now, if he's out there on his own, you don't know what he's doing in terms of his recovery. But now, if you have him in your facility and you're dealing with your trainers and your doctors, you all are going to work together to come up with a plan to really make sure that everything is covered. The issue is right now, because you said the fans. Personally speaking, and I can tell you, the coaches, they speak that fans, yeah, they care about the fans, the GM, the owners. They don't give two shits what we think. We could sit here, yell, scream, piss, and everything.
I disagree with that, Coach. Only
If
reason I
you
disagree.
if you run your business based off of the fans and what the fans fully think, you're headed for failure. I
That's what's happened
understand,
to this organization.
and that's
They
why Shane has been brought in, hasn't he?
That's true, but I'm one to suspect John Mara still got his hands in the cookie jar.
And
It's
you're going to
his
lose.
team.
You're going to lose Shane. Then you're going to lose Shane, and you're going to lose Dable, because now you're going to lose credibility across the whole league. Because what's that going to say? No one can trust him. No one. He's a backstabber in terms of business. So all you need to do is go there and get your money.
Oh
That's
Mm.
what
my
you're saying. In
God.
terms of the general manager, he was told the whole ship is in his hands. We're going to succeed or fail because of Joe Shane. And he's shown right now he's a very, very smart man. He's not going to listen to what we have to say. He doesn't care. He's respectful, he's smart. Maybe my words of saying doesn't care is very strong, but ultimately that's what it is. He's mindful of what the fans have to say. He's respectful, but he has a job to do. Just like any top level CEO, they're not going to base their decisions on what everyone else says. They have to look at what's best for the business, for the organization. And if bringing Odell Beckham in here and doing it and going the way I'm talking about is the best way, fine. Is it going to happen? I don't know. I really don't know. Can Jerry Jones throw a whole kibosh in the whole damn thing? Yes. And personally, if he goes there, I don't care. Line up at the 50 and we'll punch you in the face come game time. I know most of you
Mm.
other fans don't care. You don't like it. You're going to be it's Dallas Cowboys. I hate that team from down south with a passion. I hate them. They're
Facts.
they're my ultimate. And others say Philly and all this and that. You could talk to me about the Yankees in Boston. I'm telling you right now, that team from down south is the epitome. I would want to see them destroyed and taken out of the NFL. That's how much I don't like. I hate them. So, is Jerry Jones going to do something like that? Do I think he is? Yes. Do I think he's going to sign with Dallas? Yes, I do. But if the Giants are able to, if they signed him in the way I'm talking about, I'm not going to be upset because I think it's a smart business move. Go ahead, Jeff. You got the floor.
Well, obviously now the need for a wide receiver was heightened after, unfortunately, we heard the news about Wandale Robinson being ruled out
Yeah.
for the year with the torn ACL. So,
And shout out to Wandale Robinson, man. Before you
Mm-hmm.
continue, Jeff, that kid was having a great season.
Mm-hmm.
He showed us why he was picked as high as he was, and it's just unfortunate, man. That me and Jeff had this conversation, man. Shit, we was talking about this thing for a couple hours, man, and the wide receivers and how the Giants have just been so unfortunate with at the wide receiver position.
yep.
But
Mm-hmm.
not to get into that, man. I just want to give a shout out to Wandale Robinson, man. Wish that kid well. Hopefully he can come back strong for us, man. But go ahead, finish your point, Jeff.
Well, just real quickly, Wandell, I mean, he had a good season. I wouldn't say great because he barely played. He was out a lot of the season with a sprained MCL, and now he tears his ACL. I don't even know if he's going to be ready for next season. The fact he got hurt this late, he could be on the pup list to start next year because of the injury. But in terms of the whole Odell Beckham Jr. stuff, I mean, at this point, I'm just so tired of hearing about Odell Beckham Jr. to the Giants, to the Cowboys. Just pick a team already and then just go forward with what happens. If he's going to be a Giant, see what the contract looks like. I would personally would give him just a year contract to see if the guy is anywhere near, back close to 100%. But I don't know if I feel comfortable giving him a multi-year deal. If it comes down to money to me, he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy. I even heard rumors that Von Miller even teased about a potential OBJ to the Bills. So I can't even know if I count the Bills out of this thing. Even though two teams have been listed, you never know if a mystery team could come out of nowhere and sign OBJ. So you can't even not count that. But the problem I have, and especially with it heightened now with the Wandale Robinson injury, I'm scared to death if we do sign OBJ that Brian Daboll and this coaching staff is going to be pressured to put that guy out there way too much and just coming off a severe injury when he should not be out there playing full complement of snaps.
But
He
but
should be
but
eased into the offense.
but Jeff, remember the fans. It's the fans. should nobody listen to the fans? The fans don't know shit. But
No, we don't.
but just to coach's point real quick. That's what I'm talking about, coach. You as a coach,
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're saying as a
Mm-hmm.
coach,
Mm-hmm.
but these general managers and these owners that are getting paid by these fans, and these fans are putting money into these owners' pockets and keeping these seats filled and these stadiums filled, you
Mm-hmm.
better goddamn well listen to your customers.
So
Because
then,
if you don't,
why doesn't every business run their business based off of that? Then every business, and I'm not just talking about sports. I'm talking
every
about
business
every
does
business.
listen to their customers, coach.
They listen.
Right.
You don't make decisions based off of what the kid.
No, I get that. Yeah.
That's what I was getting
Right,
at.
right, right. Yeah.
I'm not saying that you don't listen. Yeah, you listen. I get it. They're your paying customers. But if you're before that, Gettleman was basing decisions based off of he spit in the wind and where do the fans take it, and then what does he do? He follows that, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what he was doing for the most part. And he could sit here and say he wasn't, but yes, he was, and that's my whole argument. I'm not saying don't. You know what? You have key fans you want to listen to, especially high level. I get it. You want to listen to the talk radio, to the Michael K's, the Stephen A. Smith, and all of that. I get it. I'm not saying you don't listen to it and get the feel the heartbeat plug, but you don't base your whole business decision off of that. You have to look at all the factors. The number one factor is, do you think long term it would help him? Now, if I'm going to look at the business strictly in that regard, Odell Beckham is going to galvanize the fan base. We could sit here and argue, and he's going to do more to put more money in their pockets. All right, if you want to go that route, then.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying overall, if you're just saying
Oh
I'm going to
God.
do it, and if the fans are going to pressure me, I'm going to put him out there because the fans are pressuring me, and that's the only reason. Then you failed as a coaching staff, as a management staff, as an ownership staff. If you feel that, you know what, I hear what the fans are saying, but Odell is just
Sorry, coach.
no. That's all
I'm
right.
sorry. I'm sorry.
That's all right. That's all
Oh
right.
my God,
You
this
all
team
right?
sucks.
You all
No,
right,
the,
bro?
the the Nets are starting to get blown out.
100. Yeah, I see it. Go ahead, coach.
So, but you get my point. You get my
Mm-hmm.
point as far as Odell Beckham, and you can't just base it off of the fans per se, and primarily the fans. If they are just a point, a key piece in your decision, okay, cool. I'm cool with that. What you're saying is true in that regard, then that's fine. But if you're caving because fans are pressuring you, you're to me that's not coaching. That's not being a high level executive. That's not being an owner.
Let's
That
let's just
Go ahead, Jeff. I'm sorry.
if let's just what the hell do fans know? Honestly, fans are so fickle that they'll like something 1 second and then the next second they'll be against it. If they listen to everything we had to say, OBJ would be here long term.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones would be gone. Saquon Barkley would be signed to like a 10-year deal. Like, what do us fans really know? We're fans for a reason. We've never had experience. Most of us have never had experience in a front office, involved with any of this kind of stuff. We're fans. You can listen to us because we are your paying customers, but you can't base decisions solely on what we have to say.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if they did, guarantee, and I agree 100% with Coach, I know what you're saying, MYG, but if they base these decisions solely on what we had to say, the Giants would continue to lose. The Nets would continue to lose.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets would continue to lose. Any sports franchises you continue to root for would lose. You have to know what is the right decision for your organization. You can listen to suggestions of what we might like, but then you have to really look at, overall what is best for the team. Oh, you have to think
Mm-hmm.
about it. And maybe, you never know. Maybe what we all say, it's like a brain dead situation, like a dead giveaway, that we should sign Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones to a long-term deal. Maybe Joe Shane and maybe Brian Daboll and Brandon Brown might be thinking, maybe it's not the best thing to sign these guys to long-term deals, or OBJ or whoever it is. because it might not
Mm-hmm.
be best for the organization in the coming years. Maybe in the short term, yes. The long term might not be the best idea. And that's just my opinion when it comes to the fan stuff. You can't always listen to what we have to say. But in terms of, but get back to the whole OBJ stuff. Do I want OBJ here? Yes. The fan in me, yes, I do. But I just don't want OBJ to be thought of as the savior to the New York Giants, because as we've seen right now, we've all seen the injury report. Is
Yep.
OBJ going to play offensive line? Is OBJ going to play cornerback? Is OBJ going to play multiple wide receiver positions, like multiple wide
Linebacker,
receivers,
Mm-hmm.
linebackers?
defensive end.
There's
You know what I'm
so
saying?
much problems
Guard.
on this team right now. Injuries are making it a big problem. OBJ is not going to save this team. And what happens, God forbid, if you sign him to a multi-year deal and then God forbid he gets hurt? Then what are you going to do? So no. Do I think that? Do you honestly? My honest opinion. Do I think Odell Beckham Jr. is going to be a Giant? I'm leaning more towards no. I think he's going to be a Dallas Cowboy, because I think Jerry Jones is crazy enough to throw out the kind of money OBJ is looking for. And I think OBJ, honestly, he might think that Dallas has a better chance to win something this year than the Giants, especially the injuries and stuff we're dealing with right now. So, do I think that OBJ is going to be a Giant? Right now, I'm leaning more towards a no. But who knows? We'll have to wait and see what's going to happen. We'll probably get a decision in the next week or two. But go ahead, MYG. What's up, Taj?
I think I really don't think that OBJ, like, the more I think about it, it don't make no sense for him to sign with anybody. I mean, if you Odell Beckham Jr. and people could talk about the Cowboys all they want to, and it's just not me being a Giants fan, but the Dallas Cowboys never fucking win. They never do anything. If you think you're going to Dallas to win a Super Bowl, bro, okay, so good luck. You know what I'm saying? That's all I would tell OBJ. If it's about the money, then that's going to show his true character, and you shouldn't want him anywhere near the Giants franchise. Whoa. What now, coach?
No,
If
bro,
it's about
bro,
the
bro.
money,
No.
then
It's always about the money, NYG. They're athletes in professional sports for the money.
I get it.
So
I
I
get
get
it,
where you're
coach.
going,
But
but
if
it's
if
always going to
every
be about the money.
if everything is even and he chooses Dallas because he feels like he can get a
Championship.
bigger paycheck, because that's what it's going to be about, because you can't goddamn well tell me you think you're going to win a championship with the Dallas Cowboys.
They be in a
You
better
can feel like that.
position. You could be say they're in a better
Man,
position. You've even said it. Their roster is better than ours. We all. I'm not saying they're better coached than us. I'm not saying that. I think we have the better coaching
a
staff.
lot of different
But
factors.
yes, exactly. But so you have to add everything. So and then money also factors in. So you put in all the factors, all of them. We don't have the money in the end. If everything is even, just like you said,
Oh my God.
they're
For
going
this for this
for this
season.
season.
For
Okay,
this
but he's
season.
still going to, and it goes back to what
But
I said
he
earlier.
wants a multi-year deal. So
Yes.
if you Odell Beckham Jr., how in the hell can you just look at this season in a nutshell? If you going for broke this season, go
hmm
sign with the Buffalo Bills.
I also look at the. What
Cause
did I
you
say earlier? I said I also look at your medical staff. You're going to at least have a medical staff this year. If I'm the team, I also want him in my camp because I control the narrative medically. I do. You do. You
yeah,
control
that's true. That's true.
so this way you can set a plan to make sure, at least for the most part. I'm not saying everything is guaranteed, but at least you know the care, the proper care is being given, as opposed to him sitting now. How do you know what he's really doing? Well, you could sit here and say you could see, and how do you know he's not training properly? I'm not saying he's training improperly. Please don't. But if you're on the other side in management, you don't know because you've
That's true.
seen guys who have come in and yeah, I trained, and the next thing you know, they didn't train properly. So you have to factor that in there also. And if I'm OBJ, yes, I'm factoring that in. Yeah, I'm going to be in somebody's camp, no matter who it is, and I'm going to get also the proper medical treatment. Now, like you said, are they going to throw him out there and just say he's ready to go? I don't. I think every last team is smart enough to know I'm not going to put him out there. I'm going to look. I'm going to pull up all the reports. I'm going to look at the
And
MRIs, the CAT scans,
yeah,
and I'm going to look at everything to base. Now, if you feel that he's really not ready at all, then yes, what you're saying is 1,000% true. OBJ sit
mhm.
out the year and then come in next year. But if there's any indication, even if you say you're close to the playoffs and he's going to be ready come playoff time, okay, that's cool. Get him acclimated to the game plan, the playbook, and then you know what? At the last game or two, start to get him in game shape and get him ready for the playoffs. So I get where you're going. It's just that I can't see a professional athlete saying, I'm going to sit out this year. And you know what? I can even if I was going to get $100,000, that's $100,000 that I ain't have in my damn pocket.
That's true. But let's not act like Odell Beckham Jr. is broke.
Y'all should be
Um,
ashamed of yourselves. Should be ashamed of yourselves. All you people should be ashamed of yourselves on the bench. Are you kidding me? You're losing to a friggin' basketball team with no Embiid, no Maxey, and no Harden. Y'all should be ashamed of yourself tonight. Sit down there and think about what you did. I'm sick and tired of watching this team every single time we do this damn podcast on Tuesday. This team embarrasses themselves. I'm sorry. I'm sick of
No,
this.
you
I'm
good.
sick of this.
Yo, that's the heart and the passion,
This is
bro.
Hey,
this is
I'm sick of it too.
embarrassing.
I'm sick of it too,
Embarrassing.
Jeff. I'm sick of it too.
Unbelievable.
I really am.
God, I'm embarrassed right now. Every Tuesday
But you
with
know
this
what?
goddamn basketball team.
NYG, we having a good debate
Unbelievable.
here, but we getting away from your initial point of going through the chat. So let's go back to the chat,
Oh
man.
shit!
Yeah, I'm
It's
sorry. I'm
funny
sorry.
as hell, man.
I'm sorry. It's
Oh, bro.
We was talking.
embarrassing. It's
We was talking.
embarrassing.
Hey, Jeff.
We
You
was
see,
talking about. Oh, we was talking about OBJ.
yeah,
Nah, and the way he cut in, like
yeah.
I need to go cut that, yo. That's gonna be a hell of a
Because they're all
drop.
just
He was
sitting there
like,
staring.
no.
They're all staring with blank looks on their face like, what the hell happened? You know what? You got your asses kicked tonight by a team without their top 3 players. And you're healthy. And you're getting your ass whooped.
Mm.
That's
They
what
should be
happened.
ashamed of themselves. They
I'm
should be.
ashamed. Again, I'm ashamed of this team. It's like every single day, I'm ashamed of this team. Oh, my God. Go ahead, guys. I can't take
Nah,
this basketball team.
you good. You good. Let's say a quick word from our sponsor. Shadow Worlds Radio, the feel-good experience that connects the community and reflects life. With Shadow Worlds, you are able to listen to great music, find us out in the community, positively impacting life, addressing important social issues with which affect our communities, and bringing an interactive approach to life, love, sports, and family. If you're looking for great DJ services, go check out Shadow Worlds. To listen to powerful talk radio, tune in to the Unconcealed Show, where it's more about making strong and positive moves. If you want to talk sports, check out Heart of the City, where passion for New York City sports kicks it to another level.
Mm-hmm.
To take it back in the days, listen to Di Smith and the Retro Show, where he brings you the classic 80s music from down under. Shadow Worlds brings you everything you're looking for, from online radio to the media outlet. To visit Shadows Worlds, check out their webpage at www.shadowworlds.com. That's Shadow Worlds with a Z. Or the Facebook page at www.facebook.com at Shadow Worlds Radio. Remember, Shadow Worlds with a Z, y'all, at Shadow Worlds Radio, man. Go check them out, man. I listen to this radio show each and every day, man, when I'm getting up in my morning routine, when I'm going to bed at night, when I'm just relaxing, chilling, winding down, man. It's awesome radio. we was playing some jams, man, in the back chat, man, a couple days ago. All of us, man. So definitely check out my man DJ Nas, man. He got some good tunes over there, man. For real, man. Links in the chat, man. And if you're listening on the radio, just go to www.shadowworlds.com. All right, y'all. Let's get back into it, man. Hopefully Jeff can calm down a little bit, man.
Oh no! This is gonna bother. This one's gonna bother me. This one is going to bother me for the rest of the night. I'm telling you right now, Breezy. If you're in the chat right now, Breezy, I want you to be as heated as I am right now because this one bothers me. This one really. Where's Mitch?
Yeah,
Mitch, where are you, Mitch?
Man,
I know you're
up
loving this
earlier,
one.
man. Yeah, man.
Oh, I
Shout
know
out
he's
to
loving
Mitch, man.
this.
Shout
Oh
out
my
to Mitch,
God.
man. Mitch said, hey guys, subscribe to Unpopular Opinion Sports. Let's get him
Yes.
to 100. Yeah, I'm only 16 away, y'all, man. If you could please like and
Mhm.
subscribe, we greatly appreciate that, man. But
This one bothers me. I'm telling. This one's going to
Blue
bother
City
me for the entire
he
night.
says, I have a bad feeling OBJ might become a Cowboy. Yeah, it's all
Mhm.
good. It's all good. Let him become a Cowboy. That does
Mhm.
not mean he has some type of power over the Giants to where we can't
Exactly.
beat the
Yes.
Cowboys. So
Yes.
I won't be happy about it, but if he does, we're gonna go out there and kick their ass. You know what I'm saying? Um, Blue City says, if you guys have to choose any legendary New York Giants player to play with this current New York
That's
Giants
too
team,
easy.
who would it be?
That's
That's
easy.
too easy. That's
Yeah.
too easy.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. Not even. It's way too easy.
That's too easy for me.
Is that LT?
Mm-hmm.
That's not even close. I'm sorry. It's not even
That's
close.
not even close, man.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no
LT.
Eli.
Mm-mm.
Yes.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
Mm-mm. There's
Shit.
not one off.
No OBJ. No
The
Plaxico. No,
only
no Kiki.
player I would give a quick second to think about is Mark Bavaro. Other than that, it's LT. And then third to that is Carl Banks.
You go to a
Hmm.
Carson?
No
Even over
Strahan.
Carson. Over Strahan, yep.
Hmm.
I get you. My top three would probably be Carson, Banks, and LT being number one.
Mm-hmm.
Those
I
three are just
understand.
that
Mm-hmm.
dynamic as defensive players.
Mm-hmm. I understand.
Yeah, I can't argue with that, fellas. I would give some consideration to Eli Manning. I also would
By
give.
the way, my apologies. The Brooklyn Chokes just lost tonight, 11-15 to 106. So the Chokers just lost again. Go ahead.
111 to 106.
No, 115 to 106. They
Oh,
lost by 9. It
115 to
wasn't even that close. Wasn't
106.
even that close.
Um, that's pretty bad. Because I was actually going to make a video. But I guess I gotta change it up a little bit.
No, I want you to be pissed off. You should make a video. You should be pissed.
No, I knew it wasn't gonna last. That's why I held out on the video. But I've been watching some film on Ben Simmons, and I was gonna do a film breakdown, but we'll get into that later. Says Kenny OBJ and Dallas for speaking according to social media chatters. Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. What's good, Taj? What's good, man? Appreciate you, man. Thanks for popping in. Did we also pressure them to get Kenny Galladay in a that'd be oh, I don't want to get rid of Dory, but yeah, they can take Kenny Galladay for sure. Not going miss KG. He did get a catch though. He got a catch, y'all. Kenny
Whoopty freaking
Galladay.
two. Two
Two.
catches. He's got as many catches as he does drops.
And more yards than he had for the season.
At
Yeah,
50.
man.
He's got 50. Whoop-de-doo.
He got into the stat column. So,
Yeah,
oh my god.
freaking
I'm concerned
disaster.
the Cowboys will sign Odell. I'm not concerned about the Cowboys signing him, Nimmer. I'm just concerned about him coming here and it not working out and fans turning on him and it's becoming an ugly situation. And fracturing the locker room and fracturing the fan base because you think fans are split on Daniel Jones. Huh, where the OBJ gets here. If he's has any semblance of he's not ready to take over the number one wide receiver role, it's gonna be so much backlash because you remember there is a certain portion of this Giants fan base that wanted OBJ out of here. Those are fans I see. This this is what New York Giants fans I don't like about. Where are the fans that wanted him gone? Because it seems like everybody's like, bring him back. We love him. We want OBJ back. But I remember clear as freaking day, there was at least 50% of the fan base that wanted this guy up the fuck up out of here. So where y'all at?
Well, this is the thing. Then that's why you don't listen to the fans all the time because they're all saying we
Right.
want
Because they're
OBJ, we
full of
want
shit.
OBJ, we want OBJ. The second that dude does not produce or if he gets
Yep.
hurt, all those fans will turn on him with the snap of a finger.
They're not even
That's
gonna
why you
turn on
can't
him.
listen to us.
They're gonna turn on Joe Shane. Because they're gonna be like,
Exactly.
why did you sign him? That was a stupid move. He's coming off 2 ACLs. You blew a bunch of money. You're dumb. You're an
But
idiot. You
that's
could
why
have
I
had
agree
this
with
player.
Coach. That's why I agree with Coach what he said earlier because he can't listen to what we say all the time because we're so fickle. We'll want
Mm-hmm.
one thing one day and then we'll change the next
Mhm.
day. We are fickle because we are fans. We go by emotion and not what's best for the team. We're fans. We think with emotion. That's just how we are. We don't think with logic at times. And that's the difference between a man in front office and a head coach and a fan. They think with logic. We think with emotions. Period.
Facts. And Tudo puts
Mm-hmm.
a good point out here. Says OBJ's never been healthy the whole season playing. He's always been injured
He's
or
right.
hurt.
He's right.
And it's like, okay, you know that as a GM, you know that as a fan base, but you still want him. And the moment he goes out there and has an ankle sprain, it don't even got to be a serious injury. It could be an ankle sprain, a hamstring, a calf injury.
Mm.
It's still if this is what bothers me because if anything at all goes wrong, y'all, anything, if OBJ stubs his toe, if
Mm-hmm.
the Giants get blown out in a playoff game or what anything goes wrong, there's gonna be so much backlash from this fan base. It it
Mm-hmm.
it will not be tolerable. You know what I'm saying? You will have to literally like deactivate your Twitter because it's gonna be so toxic. It's gonna be ridiculous.
NYG. I
Yeah.
want to ask you. I want to ask Coach, and I'm asking the chat. You're OBJ right now. You're choosing between a team. You see the other playmakers at the wide receiver position for the Giants, for the Cowboys, and you know what? I'll throw the Bills in there because there's rumors that Von Miller is trying to recruit Odell over there, so I can't even count them out. Which wide receiver core do you
Why
feel
would the
more comfortable
Bills need
playing
him
with?
though? I don't understand the
Insurance at
Bills.
the wide receiver position, more
Oh,
weapons.
they just wanted. That's just a luxury pick for them.
See,
Yeah.
it's that question is it's just too much that you have to put into the equation. Because if you're just looking on talent, okay. Because then you're going to look at the talent of the wide receiver. Then this next thing you're going to look at the quarterback. So then it's going to be the Bills. But then you got to factor in the money. You got to look at everything. The chance of winning a championship. I mean, it's everything. That's why sometimes, we're fans. We're fans. I mean, I don't even know everything, but I mean, I think I have a good feel on it. NYG, you make some very logical points. Even you, Jeff, you make some really great logical points. So, but in the end, when you sit down and you evaluate everything, if I'm going to put everything being equal, it's going to be the Bills because the Bills are in a better position to get to the championship.
Yeah. And also, think about OBJ if he comes to the Giants. He's going to have to be a top level guy because, especially without Wandale Robinson and obviously without Shepard.
Exactly.
Well, if he goes to
Mhm.
Dallas already has CD Lamb and Michael Gallup he could play with on the outside. Pause. They won't have to have all the pressure on him. And with the Bills, obviously
Mm,
they have Stephon Diggs and they have Gabriel Davis. With the
true.
Giants, he's going to have to take on a bigger load that he really should at this point in the season, coming
He
off
don't
a
care.
major injury.
Number one, he don't care. But number two, like I said earlier, I mean, you go in with a game plan medically. OBJ, right now, we're going to bring you along slowly. Yeah, fans are going to be upset. Well, why are you signing him if he's not 100% ready? Because it's more to it. It's, yeah, now, but like I said, what happens if you just want to get him ready for the last two games of the season and then the playoffs? It's still the same thing. If he goes to Dallas, if as far as being the number one seed, don't you think OBJ wants that challenge? He
Yes.
believes he's the number one, so that's not going to bother him. Think about it. He's already been the number one here. He's been the primetime player. He believes he is. He still believes he's probably one of the best top receivers in the NFL overall outside of the injuries. And realistically, he is. He is, if it wasn't for the injuries. So, you know, being number
But
one, the
what is he
pressure
coming
be
off the injuries though? You
no,
gotta
I get
understand
that.
see that
Yes,
too.
no, yes, yes. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
Mm-hmm.
the mindset. What I'm saying, his mindset.
From him, yeah, I get what
Yes.
you're saying.
So
Yeah,
to say that, or to think or to feel it's going to be pressure because it's going to be pressure put on him to be the number one. Yeah, and I am the number one. I am the best receiver in the NFL. That's the mindset. Does the body allow you to be? That's a different story. Which goes back to what I just said. You know what? If you got to come in, you sign them now and you slowly bring them around, have them around the guys, learn the playbook, go through practice because practice is not physically demanding. So, yes, it's going to be totally different and gear
Yeah.
him up to the last few games. Okay, fine. If I'm the GM and I can afford to bring him in and we agree, and you know what? I can give him a prorated, a small prorated now and backload everything, maybe even to next year and then be able to get out after the third year or even, maybe a fourth year. Okay. That's the business of being in the NFL. But I get where you're coming from. I really do. Yeah, it's going to be pressure, but, it's just like me as a coach. Okay. I thrive on the pressure. So what? I want the
oh,
pressure.
there's Mitch. Hey, Mitch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
Congratulations.
in the chat lurking,
Yeah,
with his sneaky
congratulations,
ass.
Mitch. Congrats.
I was just
Fucking
picking with you,
stupid
Mitch.
ass basketball team.
um, let's see what we got. What we got? What we got? What we got? Dun, dun, dun.
They were all laughing at when I went off on my tangent. I know that part was coming up too.
No, that's
I'm glad to
good.
entertain you guys.
Oh, Blue City. I forgot he's a Sixers fan too.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
goddamn
So,
Sixers fans coming in here now. Y'all gonna leave us alone, man.
yeah. I'm surprised you're not as angry as I am right now.
Cause Jeff, you know why? Because when I seen this team, and y'all said, "Oh, NYG, you too impatient. Let's just give it. Let's give it some chance. Let's just give it some time." Da 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 da. Jock Vaughn, Breezy, and all this and all that. I know for a fact this fucking team is not going anywhere.
No,
They'll
they're
get
not.
into the playoffs. They might get. They might even get a 6 seed. They might get out the playoff round. But at the end of the day, we expected what? Championships. I did not expect this team to be losing to the freaking Sixers, to the freaking Lakers, to the freaking Kings. Like these certain types of teams, you supposed to be, even if you don't beat them, you're not even competitive in a lot of these games. So, oh, they beat Memphis. They ain't have John Morant or Desmond Bain, the two guys that lit your ass up
Yeah.
the last game.
Hey,
So I
hey,
don't want to hear that
we
shit.
lost to Lakers without LeBron James.
Right. And you lost
Mm,
to Sacramento.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Yeah. We.
So I
It's.
don't want to hear this.
Mm,
Oh, yeah, you know, the 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 Nets have turned the corner and they might get cooking. you know what I'm saying? I don't know, but the way I see it is the chemistry's not there, and it's just not the right mix of players. Now, shout out to Ben Simmons. Um, I like what I seen from him on the court the past couple games. I'll rewatch this game and give further analysis, but he's definitely being aggressive. He's attacking the basket. He's not being um hesitant with his shot. You know what I'm saying? And he's getting his shot, the shot that he wants, which is in the paint, in the basket, and not being forced or forcing himself to take shots that's outside of his range or shots that he's not comfortable taking. Um, Now with these other guys, Clax,
Oh, shit.
KD, Kyrie, Joe Harris, Seth Curry, and all these other guys, the thing is they got to tighten up their defense, man. Um, and when the Nets have lost games, they're losing because lack of effort on the defensive end. And that's what I've seen from this team. Just breaking it down from a basketball standpoint. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
They do not rotate fast enough. They do not rotate with enough effort. You got to rotate and get your hands up and contest these 3-point shots. I see a lot of laziness rotating. If you play ball, you know what I'm talking about. Just
Mm-hmm.
the kind of half-ass running out there. Like,
Oh
nah,
yeah.
get up in the man's face, man. Pause and you know what I'm saying, contest that jump shot. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where teams get good looks and get comfortable and get in a rhythm.
Yep.
Turnovers is another thing that the Nets have a big problem with. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
You getting
shit.
turnovers, and then not just turnovers, but the points off turnovers.
Yep.
You're getting a lot of points off turnovers. The other team getting the points off turnovers. Guess what? That's weighing your basketball team down because you're always running and trailing to try to get back on defense. Because guess what?
There you go.
Points off turnovers is a product of what? Not rebounding or not being able to get rebounds and second chance points. So this team has a lot of issues just on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? Like I can really go in and break this thing down to a T of what's wrong with the Brooklyn Nets. You know, it ain't no Cam Thomas or Kyrie or somebody's gonna come and save this team. It's an effort thing with this squad, and it's a consistent effort. They have flashes of this, but then they have flashes of not giving the consistent effort or not playing well or not playing up to their capabilities, more particularly on the defensive end. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm looking at. And sure enough, Kyrie comes back and the defense is not good again. You know what I'm
No.
saying? So you gotta understand that's a factor too. What Kyrie gives you on offense does not necessarily give you on defense. That's when you need a guy like Ed Sumner. So then now that's up to the coach to know the proper rotation to have Sumner, Kyrie,
Did he even
Seth
play tonight?
Curry, and Patty Mills. I don't know, Jeff.
I don't
I
think he
was doing
did.
the podcast. You watched it, so
Yeah, I don't
let
think
me
he
know
did
something.
play. That's a
He
great
didn't play.
decision. No, it's a great
Yeah,
decision, Jock. Good job. Way to not play
that's
him,
what
and
I'm
he's been
saying.
playing well.
That's what I'm
So
saying. So it's also the rotations that you, because a lot of people got on Steve Nash about his rotations, but Jock Vaughn has to learn rotations too. Now that's why I said I wasn't going really truly judge Jock Vaughn until Kyrie Irving came back, because I want to see how he uses Kyrie with Sumner and Seth and Patty. So I don't know right now. It's still an incomplete. I got to go back and watch the game and watch the tape. But what I've been seeing from this Brooklyn Nets team, the primary reason that they've been losing is lack of effort, and particularly on the defensive end. When they play well defensively. When they
yeah,
play poorly, they don't give you see teams lighting them up. I mean,
Yep.
lighting them up. It ain't half ass. They shooting 50 something percent.
That's what they did
So
tonight.
right, you know what I'm saying. Basketball, the rule of thumb is you want a team to shoot under 45%. If a team's shooting over 45%, it's gonna be hard for you to win. If a team's shooting 50%, you in trouble unless you your team is that high.
Bro,
You see what
NYG,
I'm saying?
when we played against the Kings, guess what percentage the Nets gave up? You're
Like
gonna fall off your chair if you hear this one.
55%.
60.
Huh.
60% shooting.
I knew it was
50% from the
high.
3-point line.
Yeah.
60. Who the
See,
hell
you
gives up 60% from the field? You have to
ain't
really
no
suck
way.
to do that.
Ain't no way you gonna win basketball games like that.
No.
No freaking way in hell.
Ain't no way.
You see what I'm
60.
saying?
That's
You see
pathetic.
what I'm saying? That's the issue. That's the issue. Speaking of basketball, we ain't forgot about the New York Knicks over there. So let's get into the Knicks. I know Coach be trying to dodge the
Now, I'm trying to dodge anything
the
about the
the
sorry ass bum ass Knicks.
Hey. Your sorry ass bum ass Knicks are better than the worse and more bum ass Nets. Yes.
No, they're not.
Yes.
No,
Yes, you are.
no, we're not.
Yes,
No,
you
we're not.
are.
Oh my god. Oh my
You
No,
god.
we're
are,
Oh my
not.
god.
coach.
So shout out to the Knicks fans in the chat. I see you, Ronnie. I see you, Nimmer. Whoever else is out there in the chat. Just recapping since we left Tuesday, the
I
Knicks beat
tell
the
you,
Jazz, 118. That was the big game that everyone was going crazy over. Then they beat the Nuggets, 2-game win streak. Lost to the
mm-hmm,
Warriors and Suns. That's
mm-hmm.
understandable. You wasn't gonna beat those two teams. And then they came back and got revenge on the Thunder. So Friday they're going up against the Trailblazers. The Knicks are 9 and
9-9.
9 right
They're
now.
at
They are currently
eighth.
ninth.
No, oh yeah. With Phillies win, they get bumped
They're
down. They were eighth, and then
yeah,
Phillies
they're
win moves
ninth,
them to 9. Yeah.
and
They're like,
Brooklyn is 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So
ugh,
you got
disgusting.
two shitbag teams from a basketball standpoint, neck and neck, fighting
What else
for
is new? This is
And
the norm.
don't worry. The Knicks are playing the Blazers and the Grizzlies.
yeah.
Why don't you
And
guys beat them?
no, we
They,
didn't. We lost to the Grizzlies first game of the season, and we haven't played the Trailblazers as of yet.
I think you guys could beat them.
Mm.
I do. I
um
think you guys could beat them.
Aren't the
I
Blazers in first place in out west? If I'm not mistaken, the Blazers are in first place out west.
nah. They in 8th place. Jazz is in first.
Oh
Jazz,
wow.
Phoenix, Nuggets, Clippers, Kings, Pelicans, Grizzlies, Blazers, Mavericks.
Oh, they're only a game out. There was one point they were in
Mhm.
first place, so they're a game
Yeah.
out. So they're
Yeah. They
all
was
of
in
them.
first place
Yeah,
to the Nets. The Nets beat them, and that looks like a fluke. Like
but
how
that's
the
my
hell did
point.
how do you beat? That's what I'm saying. It's so inconsistent.
And the same thing with the Knicks. Think about that. You're saying the same exact thing. You guys just have better star quality than the Knicks do.
That's it. That's the only thing. We got names.
No.
That's it. We got a bunch of names
But
that don't mean
that's
jack
the
crap.
NBA. Nah, that's the NBA. It's about the names. It's about the star quality, and we all know in basketball that you could have a star player or two or three, and you could still win. You could win a championship. Not in football. That's why I'm saying that. You know, the Knicks, they don't even, we have a point guard for a change. But the issue is still to me, Julius Randle. You want to talk about RJ Barrett and his inconsistency. To me, RJ Barrett is still young. I mean, and
Mhm.
he's trying to put the whole team on his shoulders. So I commend him for that. He's not afraid of the challenge. And I appreciate that. He was raised like that. That's cool, but in the same token, Barrett is not skilled enough to be that type of player. I mean, he's just
Mhm.
not. So he may want to. He wants to play like that. Great. The biggest
Mhm.
issue I have is Julius Randle because I don't know. It just
Right, booked in sorry ass New York
It's
basketball.
been that for like years,
Oh man,
years.
sorry as hell.
Yeah, it's just. I still think you guys will get it together. It's still early enough for you, and I understand what you're saying, NYG. I do. But if we look at the talent on the team, it's like, I mean, Mitchell Robinson, for as gifted a player as he is, he's always in. We talk about all the players in the NFL. This dude is definitely injury prone, highly injury prone. And to be honest, y'all can kill me. I don't even think he's the best center on the Knicks. I think Jericho Sims is the best center on the Knicks. It's just that he's in his
Wow.
second year and he's developing. He's more athletic. He's more gifted. I mean, his elevation. Once he masters the game of verticality, guys are going to be intimidated to come into the lane with him, because I really believe this kid can jump up and take a quarter off the top of the backboard. I mean, he jumps and his
Hmm.
his chin is above the rim sometimes. His chin. That kid can. That's why I think he's better. He's just young. He's raw, and he just needs to be developed, which I don't think we have the coaching staff to
The
properly
coaching.
develop the
Yeah.
guys the way they should. And Tibbs is the biggest issue, and that's where I say into team construction. They brought Tibbs in. You needed to have a ready-made team. Jeff, you
Yep.
always talk about switch them over to the Nets. Yeah, you're right, but the Nets don't. You talk about the Nets don't play defense, so that's going to kill them. The
Yep.
net,
Jericho Sims is
he's
6'9",
mm-hmm,
250.
mm-hmm,
He's a center out of
mm-hmm,
Texas.
mm-hmm,
This season he's averaging 4.5 points and 5 rebounds a game.
mm-hmm,
Um,
mm-hmm.
and
He does the
his
same thing.
last his last 10 he's last 10 games played 18.1 minutes, 74% shooting,
Mm-hmm,
77% from free throw,
mm-hmm,
6 rebounds, 1 block,
mm-hmm,
um, five almost 6 points a game.
mm-hmm.
So he's
He gives you the
he's
same
playing
thing,
well, yeah.
and he's giving the same thing Mitchell Robinson is giving you at a cheaper rate, because they got
Mhm.
him at what, the last pick in the second round, I
Yeah. What's
believe.
good, Tommy?
What's up, Tommy?
Um
So
yeah, I believe he was
I think he was close to the end if he wasn't the last pick. So, I mean, Jeff, remember you were talking about it during the combine. He jumped one time and hit his head on the backboard.
Yeah.
I'm like, the kid and I'm like, how the hell did he get? How? But I mean, I know why. I think I know why, because he's not emotional.
mhm.
He's very stoic. He just goes out, does his job, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't talk trash. He doesn't get into it with other guys. He just plays the game.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. And most fans, they want emotion. They want, the
Yeah, round second round pick 58
hmm
what he was. So yeah, close towards the end.
exactly. And the kid just, I mean, when I saw, I'm like, wait a minute, how did this kid get? That's a steal,
It's
you
from
know.
Minnesota,
So,
Minneapolis.
oh yeah, where he grew up. Yeah, no, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. So I just love the kid. I think he's better than Mitchell. Mitchell just has size on him. He has length in his arms. He's stronger than him. I give him that. Mitchell worked his ass off to get where he is, but $60 million, and you're already every year you're hurt. We talk about NFL guys. This guy is always hurt,
Yes, he
always.
is. He is.
And
Hmm.
it's just like, I'm saying to myself, are we going to lose him for half the season?
It's the
So
days of John Starks, Oakley,
yes,
Mason Ewing.
yes,
Yeah, man.
yes,
That was the
yes.
glory days of the Knicks, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was the glory days of the NBA, man.
NBA.
It
For
So
was.
real.
so kill me about my feeling on Jericho over Mitchell. That's the problem with the Knicks. They're poorly constructed. What you call it, just talked about Evan Fournier, exactly. You shouldn't have brought Evan Fournier in and Kemba Walker last year,
Yeah, he's wasting
but
y'all's time for
but
real.
they wanted to bring him in because you were bringing in Tibbs because you wanted to give that feel as opposed to, you know what should you have done is just play all your young guys, and that's not what Tibbs is. He's just not. And I don't begrudge him per se, but Tibbs is not the coach for this team, and it's
He's not.
falling back. It's falling back on Leon Rose. Like, you don't know what the hell you're doing as the president, GM, however you want to categorize it. But then again, what are the rest of the staff putting in his ear? Which and we as Knicks fans, we bit the cheese. We bit the cheese, and now the mousetrap can't is coming down on us. And I mean,
I think Brunson.
it's perfect. Sorry.
I think Brunson is a solid player.
Hmm.
Um, I
Ike
think
Bronson.
I think you got to work with RJ Barrett. I think y'all
Hmm.
really do. Um,
Hmm.
quickly and Toppin.
Quickly topping in Cam Reddish.
Oh, coach,
Hmm.
there's a
Everyone
report that
else on
came
that
out earlier
team,
today that
Hmm.
the Knicks want a first round pick if they decide to trade Emmanuel quickly. They came
Okay.
out on ESPN before, which
Okay.
I just want to throw it out there because there've been rumors about the Knicks maybe trading quickly. So
Right now, you got a log jam, and I understand quickly, and OB possibly wanting to get out. I've heard
yeah,
that.
you got
mm.
I've
Grimes too.
Yeah, Grimes.
And
That's what I
McBride.
mean. Exactly. You have all
Yeah,
these young
you got
guys,
too many players.
but the thing is, it's not that you have the young guys. You want to keep certain ones. The first one, like if Tibbs goes, then not Mitchell, Julius Randle
Julius.
has to
Randall,
go.
Yeah.
Randall's out of there.
He has to. You have
Fournier's out of there.
Fournier has to
Rose
go.
is Rose is out of
Yes.
there.
Yeah, I feel for Derrick Rose. He shouldn't be here. He should be playing on a contender, trying to go get that ring. He deserves that.
Yes.
So it's like, you look at this team and it's like you have one end of the spectrum and the other end of the spectrum, and it's not even coming to try and meet in the middle. You could try and sell it, but to me, it's not. It's just you need to really develop because you're stagnating quickly. You're stagnating Grimes. You're stagnating Obi. I'm like, if you had Obi and did what you had to do last year, just let them develop. We're bad. All right, fine. Whoa, 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 whoa. But you know what? We'll be all right going forward. At least by next year, worst case scenario, you'd be in the proper position. Now, if you want to say they should have got Donovan Mitchell, okay, I'm not going to bet. I'll accept that. That changes to me, puts them in a different stratosphere because he's that scorer. He's that type of dog that you know what he could then take over and he can close the game. Julius Randle is not it. He's definitely not it. And right now, that's what you got to go with Julius or RJ. I mean, Brunson is starting to, everything I'm looking at. But I think what he's doing is he's trying not to take control because he doesn't want to alienate his teammates. But last night, I think what he had, 35 points last night, if I'm not mistaken? Let me double check that. Last night. Monday. Thunder. Box score. Yeah, Julius and RJ had 25. He had 34 points. And then the only other one with double figures was quickly at 18. So that tells me everything I need to know right there. That it's you're not to me, they can't win like this. And you gave up 119 points, 145 the other time to the Thunder. I mean, and Tibbs is what, a defensive minded coach? Where's the defense? Where's the defense? No, the issue is Tibbs. I'm sorry. That's the first thing I'm going with. I'll even go as far as Leon Rose. Leon Rose, mm,
Hmm.
he's underperforming as a basketball man.
Hmm.
And you're not constructed. You haven't constructed this team right. And I mean, I sit down and I've seen the highlights and whatchamacallit on Cam Reddish. Yo, the kid got game. The kid has game. I'm like, what the hell? Why isn't he being developed right?
Yeah.
So it's Tommy, you want to say you overpaid? I can't argue that right now. Initially, I was like, nah, you got him at a bargain rate, but he ain't producing. He's not. Brunson, mm, I mean, you needed a point guard, so you were going to overpay for him. The Knicks
Can't be
have
mad at Brunson though.
no, you
I
can't.
mean,
I mean, and we haven't had a
he just
point
got
guard.
here.
But think about it. The Knicks have not had a point guard, a true point guard, since what, the 90s?
Yeah.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I mean, you want to say
And
Stephon
yeah,
Marbury? Nah, Stephon wasn't it for me. I mean, I'm
who?
going back
Charlie
to
Ward, Derek Harper. I don't know.
Chris Childs.
Chris
yeah.
Child.
It's not. I don't even say they were. I'm going back to Rod Strickland and Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's true. That's true.
So it's like
I give it to D Harp though. He was good.
no, he was that veteran common force. I'm not
Right.
going to say that. So he was a point guard. So yes, everyone you just talked about are good point guards. If they were playing now, they would definitely be it over. Maybe Brunson would be on par with Charlie Ward. And maybe Chris
Mm,
Childs, but scoring wise, he's probably better than them. But defensively, they would have it over him. So
Yeah.
definitely.
R.J. Barrett. Right now, I'm ready to go with Cam Reddish over him. Uh, and like I said,
Wow.
I haven't
Is it that bad with RJ?
like look, again. I haven't seen many of the games. I've only seen a very handful. But like I said, I go through the trends. I look at the stats. I talk to Knicks fans in my building who've been following the Knicks since the 1950s, so they know. I follow Knicks fan TV. He definitely knows, and
Hmm.
it's like it's nah, man. It's right now the Knicks are right where they're going to end up being, an average team on the back end of
That's
the.
what I think. That's what I think.
So it's like, and if that's the case, then just I'm sorry, I don't want to see the Knicks like that. Then screw it, just blow it up, get rid
Appreciate
of
you, Tommy.
Yeah.
exactly. I'm like blow it up, get rid of Randall if you can, get whatever you can. I mean, if you can't get a first round for him, get whatever you can get, a couple of the second rounders. All right, do what you got to do, get him out of here, man. Send him to somebody that'll take him and they can use him.
Yeah.
It's Fournier. Somebody will take Fournier because he's still a sharpshooter. You'll probably have to send a pick with him, but
Hmm.
I don't want to really give up Grimes. Personally, I really don't want to give up quickly. But if you got to do what you got to do, I'm ready to Cam Reddish. I'd rather see how he's going. RJ, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's the money or something happened. If whatchamacallit who left to go to Louisville is a factor. I don't know. Something's just happened with him where he's not he's up and down. He's just like the team. They're up and down, up and down, up and down. It's
So we.
and Julius Randle is the only thing is just that he's not F the fans. That's all he's not doing. But it seems like everything's the same thing as last year. And
Right,
he's
Yeah.
Tommy. 20 years of
thank you.
leadership in the front office. It's been awful.
Exactly.
It's been awful.
Exactly.
It's so bad that I've never seen a New York team have fans literally jump ship. Like the Knicks is the only team that have that's their fan base has literally been
Stay with
beat
it.
to submission. Like
Mm-hmm.
they don't want no more. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Can you blame
it's
them?
too much. It's too much.
No. No.
I mean, you think
No.
about it. The Mets. We talk about the Knicks, the Mets, and the Jets in a way all linked together with the abysmal play of all of them. But at least the Mets and the Jets have had blips on the radar at times of showing some promise on certain
I'm
years.
gonna tell you
The
the
Knicks
difference.
have been horrendous for over 20 years. So I
Here's
can't
Mm-hmm.
blame the Knicks fans for being like this. Go ahead, MRG.
nah. I was gonna build off that. Here's the difference. It's the fact that the Knick fans have higher expectations than the Jets and the Mets fans. Now,
That's
because
true.
Nick fans every year they feel like their team has a chance. Doesn't matter what the roster looks like. Doesn't matter what's every single year. The Nick fans will tell you, yo, if this, yo, I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
you, we can do
Mm-hmm.
something, yo. And we got
Mm-hmm.
this and this. It's every single year they have these high expectations and they falter.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to talk Giants fans from coming or going that route. Don't have these big headed expectations and be like the Dallas Cowboys. Or hell, be like my New York Yankees. You know what I'm saying? Or be like the
Giants
damn
fans are
Knicks.
already getting that. Giants fans are already getting that this
Giants
year.
fans are starting to get like that. And that's what's pissing me off. You guys have got to step back and look at this thing from an overall standpoint. I get caught up in the moment too. That's
That's
why
New
I stopped
York.
doing my reaction shows.
That's New York,
Coach,
though.
coach
I
is right.
gotta
It's New York.
That's New
right.
York.
You gotta back down for a minute, analyze everything, and then react.
Think about what you said earlier in the show, though.
Mm-hmm.
You said, because talking about the Giants fans, you pay all this money. That's why, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yep.
not you're invested in multiple ways. You're invested as a fan emotionally as well as financially.
Yep.
You have fans. You go to the game and you have your cliques. You've had relationships that have started because of fans.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
that's you put so much into it. So that's why you take it to. And you're right. You have to temper it back down. But realistically, I understand why fans are fans, and fans don't want to hear it. But fans are, as the word said, if fans are short for fanatics. We're fanatics.
Yep.
We are.
True that.
I'm a
Yeah, we
fanatic
are.
when it comes to the Knicks. Believe you me, I don't think rationally all the time when it comes to the Knicks. And
As I don't with the Nets.
it's and the funny thing
Like
is, I
that with the
became a
Giants.
Knicks fan after being a Lakers fan. And I was spoiled with the Lakers, but I just saw something about them and I fell in love with them. And this was in the 80s. This was in the 80s. And my all-time favorite Knick, Bernard King. That's why I stuck with the Knicks. It broke my heart when he his knee injury and then ended up going to Washington. You don't know. I literally cried when he went to Washington.
I know
That's
that
how
sucks.
much exactly. That's why with the Knicks, I'm not rational. I'm not. But here I see the difference. I see it's like, yo, you're putting two different pieces and they don't fix. They don't fit. You can't fix it this way. It's get rid of the coach, get rid of the veterans, or if that's the case, if you want Tibbs, then you better sell out and get all the veteran pieces, sell out all your young pieces, and you sell out to go try and buy a chip. If that's what you want to do. If you really want Tibbs, then go buy it. But don't
That's
give
true.
me, you know what, I'm giving you this and this, but then I have these young pieces. Nah, you know what? Get rid of that. Get rid of that, man. It's either one or the other. Now I'm to the point, you know what? You want to blow it up the right way.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
look at
I agree.
OKC. Seriously, OKC, for everything that they've been through, look what they've done over the years, and they're growing in the right way.
Right.
And
That's
they
what I'm
Exactly.
saying. And that's what I told these net fans about Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't be so caught up about, oh, we can't trade our best player. Look, your best player isn't getting you the best results.
No.
So basically, and it's not his fault. It's not his fault at all. It's not Kevin Durant's fault. I'm not saying that. But the circumstances around this team, the way this team is constructed, everything that's happened around this team, the coaching, the fans, it's time to move on. It just is, in my opinion. That's why I don't be sweating what the Nets is doing because I already know where this thing is headed. You got to
Mhm.
blow it up. It's not going to work with this team. Okay, let's break it down. You got KD who signed. Okay, he's not going anywhere unless you trade him. That's
Yep.
cool. Kyrie's out. Simmons, I think, has one more year after this one. Then he's probably
Mm.
gone. Um,
Mm.
then you got Claxton and who else?
Claxton, Seth Curry, Harris, Mills.
But Seth and Harrison, they're gonna be coming up on free agency soon, aren't they?
I think Harris signed a
I'm
deal
saying like a
3 or
long,
4 year.
like the long term piece. You can help me out on this, Jeff. Who's the long term pieces the Nets have?
Uh,
Because outside of Clax and I guess some of the young players, Cam Thomas and all of them, who you holding on to past
Mm.
2023?
if Ben Simmons shows me something, I might think about holding on to him and having like a team built around him because you need something. And Simmons is still young enough where you can
Didn't
build
the
around
Sixers
him.
try that though?
But they had Embiid. They had other guys around him. If
But
you want to just go
Simmons,
for a full rebuild, Simmons is like 25, 26 years old. So he's still got time to grow.
so Simmons came in after Embiid. Okay.
Yes, yes. I
Mm.
would try to, if I'm
Why do
going to
I
blow
feel
it
like
up.
Simmons came in before? Maybe
Uh,
I'm tripping. I don't know, man.
no,
You know what I'm
Embiid,
saying?
Embiid came first. Embiid came first, then Simmons did.
Okay, my bad.
What, coach?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Is it
I'm on
what?
Twitter.
Is it
It's
Brazil
Twitter.
again?
Oh no, 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 no. It's the
Okay,
Dallas
okay.
Cowboys Twitter page.
What do they say now?
Oh
Oh wait a
boy.
minute. Yeah, all right. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can share it with you guys.
What? What did that stupid Twitter handle say now?
Wait a minute. Let me know when you can see my page.
Because
Oh,
I want to get
I
into
got you.
that too.
Do you see it? Do you see
I
it?
got you. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah, I see it.
This is their official page.
It's your move, OBJ. That Prescott shit hit us.
Cool.
Go
Good for you. Good for you,
ahead.
Cowboys. Good for you.
Oh my
Go
gosh,
ahead.
this is hilarious, man.
Good for you.
Yo, it's funny because that's just them trying to get at the Giants fans. That's
That's
all it
all it
is.
is. That's all it is.
That's why I'm laughing. I'm like, you really think that?
I
Okay.
don't care. I don't care.
If he goes there, that's what I'm saying. If you're OBJ and you go there, go ahead, bro, because you're not winning
Um,
shit. I guarantee you, you're
Well,
not winning
we know.
because first of all, let's keep it a buck.
We got
In
Philly.
the division, Dallas ain't better than Philadelphia, and we're
Washington.
gonna see if they better than the Giants Thursday. So
You
you
still
can go
have
ahead and go,
Washington.
and you
Washington is
still
stepping
got
their game up.
Washington.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't count Washington, but y'all count them. But we'll see. Um, I don't see what this hype is that OBJ is gonna make them a contender. Like this team ain't going no fucking where. Their offense and defense is their defense is good, but their offense is sporadic. It really is. Their offense is sporadic. You
yeah.
can't tell me the Dallas Cowboys have a consistent offense.
No.
They
Mm-hmm.
haven't.
You're so
So
right.
now they can go in there and puff up their chest like OBJ is gonna come there and be Michael Irvin or Terrell Owens, but go ahead. See if it works because I'm guarantee you and I'm banking on this that OBJ is not going to make Dallas a contender. He ain't going to make
Mm-hmm.
the Giants a contender.
No.
Not this
He's
He
year.
not.
right, he's not. So that's what I don't understand. What are you rushing out to go do?
That's got to be Jerry Jones.
It's all hype. It's all hype. I don't think he's going to sign with Dallas. I don't. And I think OBJ, as emotional and sensitive as he is, he knows what that'll do to Giants fans. He knows it.
Let me see
Like
something.
your ass ain't gonna never be able to come back to MetLife if you go over there and help them win. You can forget about it, dude.
Eh,
Let me see. Dallas
You have
is
fans burning his jersey and everything. These
they did
crazy ass
dead
fans.
last time. They're
that'd be stupid to
7-3
do
right now,
that.
7-4 over the
I ain't
salary
burned
cap.
my jersey. Shit, I paid too much money for that joint.
Oh no,
Yeah, I'm not burning my
but see,
jersey.
I know I've seen plenty who did burn their jersey. I was like,
I know.
really? Y'all
That's
pay all
stupid.
this money,
That's
but and
stupid.
you complain about ticket prices and all this, and you're gonna go burn a football
Right,
jersey? Okay,
Yeah, that's
okay,
just stupid.
hey,
right.
There's being an
Nah.
at
emotional
least
fan, and then there's doing something like that. That's
see
taking it
it's
to
you know
another
what?
level of emotion.
If you want to get rid of it, then sell it. Get something of value for it. But that's
Exactly.
another. This
Right.
this
But
But coach, that's
what?
common sense.
Are
let's
you serious?
let's spend a couple minutes here on the Jets.
Oh my God. Oof.
To round out the talk before we get into the freestyle session. Um
Oof. Mm.
10-3. Zach Wilson, stat line 9 for 22, 77 yards, 3 rushes, 26 yards. Um, Fellas,
Mm-hmm.
are the Jets in trouble?
No.
They got swept by the
Depends.
Patriots. Um, they're now fourth in the division. They're currently out of the playoff picture. Are the Jets in
They're
trouble? Not just for this year, because remember, Jets, much like the Giants, are ahead of schedule in their rebuild. So my concern with the Jets is, and coach, you've been saying this. Every
Mhm.
time I ask about the Jets, what's the Jets issue? Why can't they be this dominant team? It's the dang on quarterback. This
Mhm.
guy, Zach Wilson, I don't know why the Jets cannot get this quarterback position right. They
Mm.
haven't. I mean, we talking about Chad Pennington days here, y'all. Since the Jets had a respectable quarterback.
Miss
Um,
Chad.
he was good. I
I
know they
like
said
Chad Pennington a
he
lot.
noodle arm, but that dude was efficient. He was accurate. He was a very good quarterback.
Nah, his arm
I don't
wasn't
care
that
what nobody
noodle.
say. Yeah, that's what they say, but that was
It
bullshit.
was, but then he had the severe shoulder surgery after he had that bad
Yeah,
injury that really messed him up.
I don't think he had a noodle arm. I mean,
No.
a lot of quarterbacks can't throw bombs like Josh Allen and some of these other guys have. You know, quarterbacks have limited arm strength. Daniel Jones has limited arm strength.
Yeah.
He has a good arm, but he can't make certain
Like,
throws.
but
Big Pat
NYG,
just showed you that on film today. Go
you
ahead.
know why? You know what? Chad Pennington was so good because he was so smart a quarterback. He was an
Yeah,
incredibly smart and cerebral quarterback,
and
and that's what made him as good as he was.
that's what certain quarterbacks have. They have other traits. You know what I'm saying? You can have a strong arm like Josh Allen, but not be accurate. Or
Yes.
you can have a strong arm, like Jamarcus Russell or somebody like that, but not have, the mind to the brains to really play in the NFL or the makeup, the bravado, the it factor, whatever they call it. So
Yes.
Mhm.
I think Zach Wilson, um, he's lacking something, y'all. He's lacking something, and I'm willing to bet it's between the ears because the kid seems to have the talent, the arm strength, the physical tools. It's something upstairs, man, that's not clicking with him, or maybe he's playing timid because of the injuries, or maybe he's still hurt. I don't know, but to me, the Jets, they have a solid team. They have a dominant defense, and I'm saying that a dominant defense,
Mhm.
Yeah, they
but
do.
their offense is severely being held back. And when you look at the wide receivers they got, and some of the skill position players they got, there's no reason this team should be going out there putting up 3 points. It's no reason.
Hmm.
The team should be going out there with the type of offensive production that they've been getting out of this team. Now, I'm no Jets fans. Well, I'm no Jets fan, I should say. But I'm telling you, if I'm a Jets fan, I'm concerned with Zach Wilson. I really am. And I don't know what you do if you the Jets. I really don't. Because like you said, you drafted this kid, you gave up draft capital to get him. You just went through this movie with Sam Darnold. You was lucky to get out of that one because the Carolina Panthers was on sucker mode. So what are you gonna do with Zach Wilson? This is not the guy.
Mm, all right.
I don't know, man.
Here's
It's
the thing.
tough.
The first thing you ask is, are they done basically? No. And they still have a good chance of making the playoffs. And here's why. I just looked at Cincinnati's record. I mean, their schedule. Here's who they
Mm,
play. Here's who they have left to play. This Sunday at Tennessee, they host Kansas City. They host Cleveland, at Tampa Bay, at New England. They host Buffalo. They host Baltimore. Now think about that. That's a first place schedule. That's why they're getting that. The Jets are playing a last
yeah,
place schedule.
that's a.
So the opportunity is there for them to,
But
and
who do the
looking,
Jets have?
and that's what I'm pulling up now. And
Exactly.
behind them they have the Chargers, the Colts, the Jaguars, and
Mm.
I don't think the Jaguars, Raiders, and Browns. So right now, really, it's only the Chargers who I think is the issue with them.
Colts ain't no
No,
slouch.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm not saying they're not. What I'm saying is that's why I'm pulling up the Jets
They still
schedule.
got to play the Bills and the Dolphins once more too.
Yeah,
But
I
they
was
already
gonna
beat
say.
them. They both beat both of
Yeah,
them.
Bills and the Dolphins. That's why I'm trying to look at everything that they're playing in terms of their full schedule. Come on, come on, come on. You slow piece of crap. Okay, regular season. I want week
God dang
11.
technology.
Yeah, we saw. So they're on.
Gotta
Okay, they
love it,
have
don't you?
they host the
Yeah.
Chicago Bears. They're at the Vikings. They're at Buffalo. Okay, they host Detroit. They host Jacksonville. They're at Seattle. At Miami. So I'm not saying their schedule is a cakewalk, but they're better positioned over Cincinnati. And the Chargers still
uh,
playing in that. So I'm not saying it's going to be a cakewalk. That's not what I'm saying. Please don't think I'm saying that. I'm just saying the opportunity is there. Yes, the opportunity really is there. Do I think they can beat Detroit if they have better quarterback play? Yes. Jacksonville, yes. Seattle, yes. Even the Dolphins, because they do have the defense. At Buffalo, that's at
I don't
Minnesota.
know. Detroit,
I don't know.
Detroit got
No,
Detroit
I'm not
got
saying
enough respect for me, man, since
no.
that
I'm
performance.
listen. I'm not
Them
saying
boys
don't
are
respect them,
rugged on the
but
line.
who has the better defense, the Giants or the Jets?
Jets.
That's my
Jets.
point. That's my
But who has
point.
the better offense? I'd say the Giants right now. The Jets
No,
offense
give it
is
to
No,
the
not
the
Jets.
good.
Jets.
Jets.
Jets have a better offense.
They scored 3 points.
Okay, the
Their
Giant.
quarterback, that's what we're talking about. Their
That's the
quarterback is holding
quarterback.
them back.
Okay, and that's your game plan. Now that you know, you see that you adjust your game plan. You still have the skill positions. You have better wide receivers, better tight ends, better offensive line. We have the better running backs. The quarterback play, okay, yeah, Daniel Jones definitely is better than him. But other than
Quarterback,
that,
running back, I give to
yeah,
Giants.
exactly. The offensive line I'm giving to the Jets. The tight ends I'm giving to the Jets. The receivers I'm giving to the Jets. The defense right now, the Jets are better at defense. So that's why I say they can play and they can do what they need to do to beat Detroit. And even if you
Yeah,
want to,
I can see that matchups make styles
makes
make fights.
exactly.
I got you, coach. Yeah.
So I mean, in Chicago, I think they can definitely beat,
I
especially
would
if just
definitely
if they're.
argue that the the Giants are a better team overall than the Jets, but I see what you're saying as
Are
far as
you including
matchup.
coaching into overall? Are you including
I'm
coaching?
including team, yes.
Okay, so yes, if you're going to include coaching, then
Top to
yes, I'm
bottom.
going to.
We did this exercise, remember?
Yes, no, yes, 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 yes. But what I'm saying is based off of the fact of Detroit, what Detroit just did to us. Detroit can't do to the Jets what they did to us
Their
because
defense ain't gonna allow it.
their defense can't take away one, because then if you do that, still and all, if you take away the pass, they can still run on you. If you take away the run, they can pass on you. The Jets, they got to be smart about it, but they can pass on you. So I'm not saying that Detroit's going to come back and just walk all over the Jets. Do I think it's going to be a tough game? Yes.
I
Can
don't think
Detroit win?
Detroit will score 31 points,
No,
but I
no.
also don't think the Jets
Mm,
can score 20. So
I
I mean,
disagree
that's
with you
kind
there.
of yeah,
I
I
mean,
don't know.
Green Bay has a good defense, and they scored 27 on them in Green Bay. Dolphins, they scored 40 on them. Pittsburgh, 20. So they can score points. That's my point. Cleveland, beginning of the season, but Cleveland has a good defense, scored 31. So to say they can't, and what's to say that they don't make the change and put in Flacco at quarterback?
Or Mike White.
So you make the change at quarterback, then that
Yeah.
changes. So that's what I'm getting at. The Jets, to you, your point was, are they done in terms of making the playoffs? No, they have a good chance of making the playoffs. They do.
Mhm.
I think they have a better chance than Cincinnati. And Cincinnati, I think, is still a good team. Yes, and they're getting hot, and they're right there. They're 6-4, just like the Jets.
Yeah.
The Patriots are also 6-4. What's going to happen with them to close out the season? So can the Jets? Because the Jets, the Patriots, and the Chargers are all. Is it the Chargers? No, the Chargers are 5-5. Yeah, the Patriots, the Bengals, and the Jets are all 6-4.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So and then over that, the Dolphins, Titans, Ravens, and the Bills are 7-3. So it's not like the Jets are that far out. They're not. Can they make
Chiefs
the
are eight
Yeah,
playoffs?
two, right?
they're just
Yeah,
right.
Okay,
yes, they're
thank you.
right
Yeah,
there.
right there.
And to be honest,
Mm.
I think the reason why can't say the Jets are out of it, that defense can win
Yes,
games. Their defense
yes.
is so good, especially on the back end. We're talking about the Jets only scoring 3 points, but the Patriots only scored. In reality, that Jets defense only gave up 3 points. It's a special
Mm-hmm.
teams play with five
Mm-hmm.
seconds
So
left to go that really
right.
lost that game for them. The Jets defense is dominant. I'd even argue right now the Jets have the best defense in football right now. I'd argue that. There's not a lot of teams that have the type of defense that the Jets are rolling out right now all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
That is a
There you
scare, and especially the back end. And let's just be real, the Jets defense would probably do a better job against the Lions than the Giants defense would
Mm-hmm.
in every aspect. They would. They don't. We don't have the cornerbacks or the secondary
Mm-mm.
that the Jets do,
Mm-mm.
or the linebacker play, and their pass rush has been as solid overall as ours
Mm-hmm.
has. It might even you
Exactly.
could even argue say it's been better. They right now have been playing better on every single level of their defense than we have,
Mm-hmm.
and I think they would do
And
a better job against the Lions.
that's the thing, and that's why I sit here and say Chicago. I think they can beat them. I'm not going to say it's going to. Well, it depends on Justin Fields. If Fields is not
Yeah,
there, I find it hard to believe that they can't shut them down. Minnesota. How is Minnesota mentally recovered? Because
exactly.
they got their asses whooped by the
Yeah,
Cowboys. So
You
you know,
kind of figured that was gonna happen.
not to that magnitude. I figured they would win, but not get beat. That's a
Dallas
beat
was
down.
destroying Kirk Cousins. They were in the backfield and
They
sacking
beat
Kirk Cousins
they
every
beat
time.
them worse than they beat us.
Yeah,
They completely
Yeah.
annihilated Minnesota.
Don't
So
the thing about Dallas and that whole team is
they're consistent. I know.
it's it's their defense that's a problem, but it's because of how they play. They play they're a front running team. And
Yes.
coach, you know what I
yeah,
Yes.
mean by that. They get
Mm-hmm.
up on you and they go in. Like they don't let up. The
that's
Giants
true.
are a type of team that get up on you and they want to milk the clock and play pity pat. These teams like Detroit, like you seen, like Coach said,
Mm-hmm.
Detroit tried to do that to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Just want to go, just pound you, pause down your throat.
Yep.
Now
Mm-hmm.
that's how Dallas is. But the flip side to that is, if you get up on a team like that and you make them play from behind, they're going to not play well and they're going to make mistakes, turn the ball over, and that's when you're going to
Mm-hmm.
see the Dak Prescott that we all want to see. So we can transition to a little bit of game preview here.
Let's
Mm-hmm.
do it.
This team has got absolutely half to get a lead in the early going of this game against Dallas. If they go down 7-0 or even 10-0, that's gonna be a long fucking day for the Giants. I'm telling you right now. And Giants fans, even the most optimistic of fans, can't sit up here and tell me I'm lying. It's going to be a long day for the Giants if they get down. Now, what are you supposed to do, NYG? We got all these injuries and Jones and Mark. What you do is you have to force this team into mistakes. You
Yep.
gotta have them play your game. Force them into a mistake, get an early score.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they come down the field. You you slow them down and make them score a field goal. Okay, you 10-3. Go immediately down the field. Don't piss around, Kafka, and score another touchdown. The problem with the Giants I see too many times is when they get a little bit of a lead, they want to play so conservative. It's like, and I know a lot of fans been talking about this. Free Daniel Jones. Let him go out there and throw the ball a little bit. He's gonna make some mistakes. Fans ain't gonna like it. But the fact of the matter is, you got to let this guy loose a little bit. Because if you're playing that conservative, that's telling me you don't have true confidence in this dude.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
if they go out there and they play that same fucking game plan that they did against Detroit, that's in a division game, and you lose to Dallas, I'm gonna tell you right now, you can call me rash, unrational, unpopular, whatever the hell you want to call me. That's telling me they're not fully sold or committed to Daniel Jones, because you have to let this guy grow in this offense. If he's gonna be here for the next year or the next couple years, you gotta let him grow. You got a free year. You got a free pass with the fans. Everything else, you 7-3. Yeah, everybody wants the playoffs, but even if you miss the playoffs, you can't say that that Brian Dable and Kafka and them didn't come in here and improve this team, and this team's not moving in the right direction. So if you go out here and you do that same shit that you did with Detroit and want to run Barkley, run Barkley, run Barkley until his damn shoulder breaks down, that's telling me you don't got no confidence in Daniel Jones because you scared of him to make mistakes. Quarterback's gonna make mistakes. I don't like it. Jones doesn't like it. He's the quarterback. But you got to understand, he's gonna make mistakes. And when you make mistakes as a quarterback, you got to learn from those mistakes. You don't learn from shit if motherfucker. What the fuck?
You okay, bro?
All right,
Okay.
I'm back. Okay, something happened. I don't know
Okay.
what happened, but
We
you don't
understand.
learn. You
We
All
get
that
it.
right,
was
you were talking. Oh, mother.
Mother.
that was
Okay.
weird, man. Cause the screen just went blank on me.
Oh,
But my
okay, okay. I
but
got
my I got so many tabs open. Um, but nah, if you scared, then say you scared. You know what I'm saying? You can't go out there and play scared with your quarterback. You know, you gotta open this thing up and let Jones go out there and show you he's the guy. Show the fans he's the guy. Do I want him to throw it 40 times? Absolutely not.
Hmm.
But I don't want you to be passive. Go out there and and take a deep shot to Slayton first drive. Um, Go out there, hit Galladay on a little slant on your first drive. Show some aggressiveness that you're not coming in with the same game plan. We just gonna run Saquon Barkley, and if it don't work and we get down by 2 or 3 scores, then we just gonna let Daniel Jones sling it around. Don't do that shit, man. That's the problem that I have with the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
Too conservative, overly conservative. It's a time to be conservative and it's a time to be aggressive. Now is the time to be aggressive. You know why? Because you got 5 fucking division games and your asses is on the line if you expect to make the playoffs this year. So go out there and be aggressive. If you want to be passive and soft and punt to next season, fine. I'm going to know it in this Dallas Cowboys game. I'm going to know it. I'm going to know it. You ain't going to fool me, Kafka, Dable, Shane. If y'all go out there and y'all do that pussyfooting bullshit, Dan Campbell called you out, called it coward ball. And you proved him right. Now y'all look like the cowards. So go out there and trust me, I'm not gonna be bashful about criticizing this coaching staff because everybody wants to give this coaching staff a fucking pass because the Joe Judge was so bad and Jason Garrett was so bad. This coaching staff has made mistakes. Dable has made mistakes. Kafka has made mistakes. So has Wink Martindale. So has Joe Shane. Now, Giants fans can sugarcoat the shit if they want to, but I'm not going to do that. This staff and this organization is not perfect. But we can live with those mistakes if you show growth and not want to do the same shit that we've seen from these past regimes and do it over and over again, even though you know it's not working. Go out there
Yep.
and throw a couple passes on the first couple drives, get Dallas backpedaling a little bit, and maybe you'll open some shit up for Jones, for Barkley, for Slayton, whoever else is out there. Go ahead, coach. Man.
Well, one, you know I always preach that. That's always been my philosophy right off the bat. I'm taking a shot down the field. Why? To open up the defense to back them off a little bit, even if you're not successful right off the bat. I agree with
Right.
you there. I can't disagree with that there. Okay. The scared part, I don't think it's scared. I think it's concerned more so not with the quarterback, but the offensive lines or the
I,
our offensive line. I
I
mean,
agree.
I mean, the one thing I had an issue with on Sunday is the mix and match it. I never thought Lemieux should have been starting from day one.
I don't understand that either.
It-
Because Azudu was playing
Like
well. He wasn't playing bad. He wasn't like getting destroyed out there. He was playing decent. So why put Lemieux in there?
Bookends, that's just what I just said. Exactly. I don't think we trust they don't really fully trust the offensive line. The Zoodle, I'm to the point, leave him in, let him take his lumps. He's a rookie. That'll get him ready for next year. Worst case scenario. Now, the biggest problem, and why you know I've been talking about this for the longest, has been Feliciano. Now,
Yeah.
this injury of his might open the door. I think has might become a blessing in disguise. Is
Oh
Nick
yeah, for
Gates
Gates.
ready?
Gates.
Is he fully ready? I don't know. I don't think he's fully ready, but he has that type of grit and determination to go out there and make plays. Bobby Skinner was doing a little breakdown, and I saw some of the breakdown. Some plays were good, some plays were bad, and that's fine. He's playing. He has to get back into being comfortable playing. So
Mm-hmm.
and Glowinski is just not what we all thought from day one. Um,
Big disappointment.
Major disappointment. So the thing is, I don't think because that's where a lot of times more the pressure comes in Daniel Jones's face than it does on the edges. Go back and look at the film. There were quite a few times. What did he have to do? He had to break to the outside. Why? Because there was pressure coming up in his face.
Mhm. That's
Some
true.
of it was the line, some of it was the receivers not getting open. So Kafka did not call a good game. He definitely didn't. Um, Detroit knew exactly what he was doing. Daniel Jones, he was uneven. There were some plays that, you know what, he needed to do a better job, especially that interception that Hutchinson.
And
When
I cannot, coach, not to cut you off, but
Mhm.
I cannot, with all due respect, um, to the people that support Daniel Jones, I can't make an excuse for those interceptions. I
No,
can't.
no, I'm
I
not. I'm
can't.
not. And that's what I was getting at. That one was a play action. He opened up left, play action. I think it was to Barkley to that side. You're
Mhm.
trained when you do play action, you get your head around quickly, see what's in your pathway. That's the first thing you have to do. You can't look at the receiver. You have to look at where you're throwing because where the intercept, that's where he was throwing. Detroit knew that. And what did they do? They dropped Hutchinson. So when you do the play action, when you're getting ahead around, you're going to see if Hutchinson is there. If he's not
Mm-hmm.
there, then what does that say? If he's not in the flat, he's in the hook curl alley. So you don't throw the ball there. So that was a mistake. Initially, I thought, okay, they just really disguised it well. But after looking at it, yeah, it was play action. You get your head around. You got to see that. You have to see that. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So yeah, that's a mistake on him. So the interceptions, yes, they were on him. Them getting behind, so they had to throw a lot more. Yes, this was Seattle. You want to say Baltimore, you want to say Jacksonville. They all ran the same, pretty much the same blueprint to take Saquon away. Just Seattle was the most effective in doing that. And yeah, you have to be prepared for this. Kafka should have been prepared for that. What do you do if teams are really loading the box and taking him away? Because what? Detroit and Seattle were the two worst run defenses, and they completely shut us down in the run
Mm-hmm.
game.
And I
Why?
told people that. And I told people that because I'm like, they're gonna sell out to
Mm-hmm.
stop the run because they know they're not good at it. The same
Yeah.
thing with Houston, same thing with
Mm-hmm.
Seattle. All
Mm-hmm.
those teams to where we thought we was gonna. And what did I say?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will
No.
go back. I will go back to the podcast I've been saying because I'm not a football guy. I'm not a football
Mm-hmm.
coach, but I'm a deep thinker and
Mm-hmm.
I'm logical. And I
Mm-hmm.
said, if I'm Kafka, I'm coming out throwing because you automatically know that this team is going to gear up to stop the run. So you got to get them off their game plan. Why are
It's
you coming out there playing into their game plan by running the football down the throat, the same plays, and they do the exact same play? I know Daniel Jones is not going to pull the ball. The only time he did that was the Chicago game.
And that's my point. That's where the run game, you want to get Saquon going, then attack them on the edges. What did Chicago did that the very first play of the game. And that's what should have been done. Should,
Mm-hmm.
what you call it was effective running 100 and what 160 something yards you get rushing 170 yards. So that told me,
Yeah.
okay, the quarterback can kill them. That also gets your quarterback out on the edges. They were getting them with the split zone. Wandale was getting them right there in the flats because that was off a split zone, getting
Mm-hmm.
Daniel Jones out there. So now you want to attack the edges, get him to pass the ball there in the flats, right in the hook zone alleys. When you boot him, get the defense moving, as opposed to keeping him in the pocket. Now they're just sitting there, or they're in the hips of the receivers because they know where Daniel Jones is going to be. But if you make him a threat on the edge where he can also possibly run, then it changes the whole dynamics of the defense. And now it opens up the run game, and it's so much more you could have done. Jeffrey and I were talking about it too. Why are they not running screens? Why are they not
Mm-hmm.
getting Barkley out
Right.
and get him some screen? There are things you can do offensively
Mm-hmm.
to change. Yeah, Kafka, this is on you. Dable, this is on you. You're an offensive minded coach. Do I think you're just letting Kafka learn a little bit more and you're not trying to break his confidence and take the power away from him? I can respect that as a coach.
Well,
But
let's do this real quick. Nimmer has
mhm,
a question. He
mhm,
says, well, maybe it's just a comment. I feel like it would be would
No.
been better if
Mm-mm.
Dable was calling
Mm-mm.
plays over
Mm-mm.
Kafka. Do
Mm-mm.
you feel like
Mm-mm.
that, Coach?
No. No. Because as a first time coach, what you get caught up into is you get so caught up in the offense, you lose sight of the whole team. And that's a problem. He's not
Yeah,
experienced at that. He's not. So he's going to go into adjustment. He's going to talk to his other coaches, and he's going to let the rest of it. You don't have another type head coach. You could say Wink is, but Wink has never been a head coach, and
nah.
that's what I'm getting at. You don't have someone an assistant head coach who can you could say run the shit while I go do what I got to do with the offense. You don't have that.
Mm.
If he had someone like that, sure, no problem. Let Dable make the calls. He's also developing Mike Kafka. So just like you develop players, you got to develop your offensive coordinator, and you got to take the good and the bad with him. And
Mike
you don't.
Kafka is going to be a phenomenal
Yes,
offensive coordinator in this
yes, he
league.
is. Yes, he
You
is.
guys got to be patient. He does not
That's
have the personnel to run his offense the way he wants
and
to run it.
that's what it boils down to. We honestly we got spoiled because we're ahead of the game. We really are. If we had 4 wins right now, would nobody be saying anything about Detroit? Not one
Nope.
person. And
They be
that's what it
saying
was.
same old Giants. The team sucks. Da 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 da. Give it to Jones.
Well,
Give it to
we're
whoever
saying that
else.
now. They're saying that now, but you know what?
Right, and
The
they're winning.
expectation and the expectations wouldn't be as high as it is now. That's what I was getting at. So
Facts.
we're just ahead of the game. That's really all it is. Do I think we're making the playoffs? Yes, I do, ladies and gentlemen. I think we're making the playoffs. We just need 2 to 3 more wins. That's really it. You can say, well, where are they coming from? Division games, no matter what. I don't care if you're 0-15 and you're playing your division opponent the last game of the season. They're always a battle. So like you said earlier, we have 5 division games.
Hmm.
So if you can get 3 of those, there's your 3 wins, right there alone, along with Minnesota and Indianapolis to close out the season. So, to me, do I think we're making the playoffs? Yes. Do I? Yes, I think we're making the playoffs, and I hope I'm right. So but I'm not going to sit here and think we're going to go 0 and what is it 0-7. I can't accept that. I can't accept that type of thinking, that mentality. Right
That's
now,
crazy.
I think we're going into Dallas, and we have something to prove. And it's not out of the realm that we will come out of there and win. It's always been said. Eli Manning, he opened that stadium. Everybody said, "Oh, that Dallas is going to blow us out." What happened? We won that game, and what did Eli do? He autographed the wall. People forget about that.
Yep.
So to think that
Remember
it
that
can't
shit?
it can't happen. I mean, we just had today in the World Cup a team. Argentina lost. They calling it the biggest upset in all of sports. So to think that it can't happen, that's the problem, and that's a mindset and that's a mentality. As a coach, I don't subscribe to that. As a former athlete, I don't subscribe to that. I always go in thinking there's a game plan. We need to execute. If you have your right game plan, you're going to win. Plain and simple. These guys are paid professionals.
Yep.
Every last one of them. They're paid professionals. We just, oh, they're bums. They suck. Okay, okay. Maybe they're not, up to par. Maybe physically they're not there as yet, but they're in the NFL for a reason. If not, someone else will be there. Plain and simple. And that's it. I mean, this ain't college. If you were saying Alabama versus bullshit university, all right, fine. You know what? All right, I'll give you that. But
I'm a
NFL,
big fan of that university, by the way.
Bullshit university. Yeah.
but the thing is, in the NFL, the margin for error is that much closer. It really is. And like you've been saying, it's really the mistakes that get you and the mental breakdowns more than anything. It's not always the physical skills. It's not because they're all pretty much this guy runs a 4.6, this guy runs a 4.3, but the 4.3 guy is the one that sucks. But yet and still, this guy, This guy is 6'5", 350 pounds, and he could bench press 1,000 pounds. But this guy is 6'4", 280 pounds, and he can barely push 300, but he's an all pro, and the other guy isn't. So to
Mm-hmm.
kill me with that type of thinking that, oh, we don't have a chance in hell. If that was the case, then New York Giants tap out, forfeit your season, and close up shop and get ready for next year. But no, we would go into an uproar, me included. Ain't no way in hell I'm closing up shop. You go out there to play the game. You play to win the game. Period. And that's what it is. It's to think that, oh, we don't have a chance, man. Excuse me, sorry, I already said the wrong thing.
So,
sorry about that, man.
here's the deal. The Giants have got to get pressure on the quarterback.
That's fair.
That's fair. And I said this Sunday. Azeez Ojulari is sorely missed for this team. The first Dallas game, the Giants got 2 quarterback hits, 0 sacks. I can't see the pressures, but I'm sure it wasn't that many. Jones had 37 pass attempts. Remember, over 30, we lose. Had 37 pass attempts. 0 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you want to beat this team, Giants fans, Giants players, coaches, if y'all want to beat the Dallas Cowboys, you got to protect the football.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, your team, this Giants team, does not have the horses to overcome mistakes. You have to play mistake-free football. Didn't do that the first game. Now, Jones also got sacked 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
And we all knew the stats. He was pressured like on 70, I don't know, however many percent of his dropbacks, whatever the number was. Blah, 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 blah. But you got to understand that this team has definitely got to protect the quarterback and not turn the ball over. The Giants just don't have the team to where they can make mistakes. When I seen that interception that Jones threw, in my mind, I was like, it's going to be a long day because I already know this team does not have, this is not that type of team that's going to come back from making a lot of mistakes. They capitalize on you making mistakes. So if you got a team that they're making mistakes and then the other team's not making no mistakes, the Dallas Cowboys didn't have any turnovers in that game, that first game, I believe. And the Giants had no sacks. So you're not putting any pressure on the opposing team to where it's going to give your offense, that a struggling offense that's not very good. Not saying the players aren't. I'm just saying the unit as a total is not good, whether it's offensive line, receivers, quarterback, whoever you want to put the blame on. The unit as a whole is not very good. So if you have an offensive team that's not very good, you have to step up as a defense and give your team opportunities. Giants have not been doing that in a lot of these losses. They are failing to get pressure on the quarterback. Just showed you the Detroit game. No sacks. I think 3 pressures. Dallas game we lost. No sacks. Oh, I don't even know. Maybe not even a pressure. or one pressure or something like that. So I have to go back and look at the stats. But the point of I'm trying to make is that you don't win with this type of team unless you can get pressure on the quarterback and not make no mistakes. We could talk about the running game and stopping the run. Yeah, that's important too. I get all that. But this team, when we came into this season, and a lot of people forgot, see, sports fans, especially Giants fans, have amnesia. We was all worked up about this team because of what? We had Azeez Ojulari and Kayvon Thibodeau coming off the edge. Neither one of those guys have given you anything, much of anything this season. Kayvon Thibodeau has 1 sack, a handful of pressures. Azeez Ojulari's only played in 2 games. Yeah, I like Zimenez, Jahai Ward. They're good stories. They're good rotational players, but they're not starters. So you have to understand that Azeez Ojulari is needed on this team for this team to really take off and be a defensive type team that we expect this team to be. Wink Martindale can only do so much, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
He can only do so much. The guy's done a phenomenal job as it is, given this patchwork group that he's working with. So has Jerome Henderson in that secondary. But damn, the injuries are going to catch up to you at some point. So, that being said, I am concerned about this game. I'm still optimistic about this team moving forward. But this game, I don't have a good feeling about it. I'm not going to lie to you. And this will be the game they fucking beat them by 21. Watch, but because I haven't said that all season that I don't have a good feeling about a game. But this is a game that I don't have a good feeling about.
Can I answer Nimmer's question?
Go ahead.
Nimmer, I understand that you want Dable to call over Mike Kafka, and I just said to you, you only do that because, and you said Kevin O'Connell is calling the plays, and I said you do that when you have an assistant head coach who's been a former head coach. They have Mike Pepitine, who is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, as their assistant head coach. So it affords him the ability to do that because now you can trust that no matter what, even for a series, you have somebody who's qualified enough to step in and lead the team while you're focused on the offense. So that's why I was saying that, yes, I get where you're coming from as far as Dabo being experienced and, knowing how to call plays, but he doesn't have someone who has been a former head coach. For everything with Joe Judge, he had Jason Garrett, who was a former head coach. So in that regard, if you wanted to say Judge was calling the plays and Garrett could step in that regard, okay, fine. I'm just using that as an example. Please don't take that the wrong way. But I'm giving you the point of that's when you can do that. When you have a rookie head coach, you need to have somebody with experience. Otherwise, let him captain the ship and let all the coordinators coordinate and the coaches coach. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Enwachi. Thanks.
Oh, nah, coach. Well said. The link is in the chat if you guys want to pull up. I see Breezy. I see you out there. If you want to go and talk about the Brooklyn Nets, and Nimmer, if you want to come up and talk about the Knicks or whatever, we're gonna go for 30 minutes. I'm not extending this thing any longer, y'all. So get your work in right now, cause
NYG.
I gotta go to bed tonight. Go ahead.
Can I just want to talk about this game on Thursday.
Yeah, shoot.
So I was pretty much out all day, and then when I came home and I saw the injury report, that really hit my confidence a lot with this team.
It's deflating. Yeah.
It's very deflating because it's not even just the secondary. It's that offensive line that scares the hell out of me because you look at it. Shane Lemieux, 5. We have like 5 or 6 guys that are a question mark right
If
now.
Neil plays, I feel a little bit better about it. But if he doesn't
I'm
play,
concerned.
Well, who's playing
yeah.
in our interior? Who's playing right now?
You gotta put
Feliciano,
in, you gotta
Lemieux,
put in
and
Gates
Azudu
and
are all not playing. Looks like they're not playing. All 3 of
where's
them.
Bredesen?
He's still on IR. He's not
It's all right,
activated yet.
yeah.
Can't be activated yet. So
Oh shit.
we could have Jack Anderson as our starting guard and Nick Gates as our center. Because I
I'm
don't think
good.
Azudu's playing. I don't think Feliciano's playing. And Lemieux, he's got that toe issue again. I don't think he's playing
Mm-hmm.
either. And Phillips and Neal, they might decide to hold them out because of the fact they have one is a neck injury. And we might, I don't know if it's the best idea to put Neal in there if he's not 100%.
Yeah. And after
You
what
might not
happened
have
the
a
first
choice.
And
Yeah.
to make it worse, Andrew Thomas didn't even practice today with an illness. You don't know how well he's going to be.
God.
yeah,
It's bad.
so
It is bad right now with that offensive line. I'm just telling you, it's not
Jeff,
good.
Jeff, I'm one with you as far as Neil because of what happened that first time, his mental. But right now, you just said it. We don't have anybody, and you're gonna now. You have no choice. Neil has to
Gotta
play.
put him
Exactly.
out there.
He has to
And
now in that regard. Yeah.
and the thing is, that's where my biggest concern comes from because you saw what Dallas did against a Minnesota offensive line that was healthy. Can you imagine
Mm-hmm.
though? Just thinking about it. We could talk
Yeah.
about Daniel Jones passing the ball, getting the passing game going. How is he going to be able to get a passing game going with that defense when they got 7 sacks against the Minnesota offensive line? Their defense is very good against a patchwork offensive line. That's what concerns me the most. I know our
Mm.
secondary is a mess too, and it looks like Moreau is not going to play. Obviously, Adori's already ruled out. We're not going to have Bellinger. He's already out. It's not looking good on like the scene of things, honestly. Do I have confidence? Yeah, I'm a fan. I want to see this team go out there and be able to defy the odds. But
Yeah.
I honestly think you said before, NYG, it's about the pass rush, which I 1,000% agree with. We need to get a pass rush on Dak Prescott. But I would also couple in, we have to stop the run. I think that's as vital and important as getting a pass rush. We have to stop the run. We cannot allow against Dallas what we did against Detroit because Dallas also was running the ball like crazy against Minnesota. And
Yeah, I agree.
that can hurt our pass rush overall if we can't stop the run. It's going to hurt our pass rush because then it's going to be able to get their passing game going on some of those quick plays where they can get the ball out quickly and negate our pass rush. And that's what's going to be a problem too. So stopping the run is so vital in this game combined with the pass rush because our defensive line is probably the healthiest part of our entire defense. With the defensive
And they
tackles.
haven't played well. That's the problem. They haven't played well.
Half.
We can praise Dex and Leo all we want to, but as a unit, this team has been getting ran on, and they
Yes.
haven't got any pass rush.
Yes.
So that's what's been. This is what I'm trying to bring to light. Why everybody want to talk about Daniel Jones.
Because everything's
Look at
always
those
about
deep-
Daniel Jones. Yeah, they don't pay attention to the whole thing of the aspect of things.
Right.
The
Your
reasons
damn
why we're
defense
losing.
gave up 31 points and 160 yards rushing. Ain't
Exactly.
nobody talking about that though.
That's what made me crazy in that game. Is because we couldn't
That's
stop the run. And we couldn't get a
right.
pass rush against Detroit. Daniel Jones wasn't good. I mean, let's just be real, he wasn't good.
No, he wasn't
But
good.
the defense was horrendous. We
Exactly.
all have been praising Wink Martindale's defense. We have all been praising Wink Martindale. But you
Yep.
gave up 160 plus yards rushing to a Detroit Lions team. And I like Swift. I like Jamal Williams. They're solid running backs.
Ain't no
But
way
they're
in
not.
hell.
This is not.
You should
this
have
is not
gave
Jonathan
up
Taylor.
$160 when you shut down
Exactly.
Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey and,
Exactly.
and Zeke and Pollard. Why you give
There's
up
no
$160?
excuse.
No excuse.
There's no excuse.
at
There's
all.
no excuse. And you know what the most infuriating part about it?
And like
Our
you said, they were
secondary was
healthy.
beaten up. Our
Outside of
secondary is
Aziz.
beaten up. Moreau, Jackson, all these guys are out, and our secondary still played better than our run defense did. And those are the things that concern me. The things that concern me the most in this game. Yes, I'll admit, I'm a little bit worried going into this game against Dallas's wide receivers, and I don't care if CeeDee Lamb is dropping passes all over the place. He should still be able to make plays against our secondary without Adoree and without Moreau, because I don't think either one of them is playing. But the thing that concerns me the most, and I just want to say this real quick. The offensive line just scared the hell out of me. It really does. It scares the hell out of me because it's the fact of I don't even know who's going to be on the field right now. And like Coach says, the biggest problem is that we're rotating guys in and out, and a lot of it had to do with injuries. There's a possibility, and it looking like a pretty strong one, that Jack Anderson is going to be one of our starting guards because I don't think Azudu is playing. He has not practiced in the past 2 days. I don't think Lemieux is playing because he did not practice and that toe's giving him issues. And I don't think Feliciano was playing. And to be honest, as much as we all love Gates and we all love what he's doing right now, getting back on there, I don't trust Gates to be able to play a whole game. And I don't trust Jack Anderson to play at guard. And Glowinski has been inconsistent. And if God forbid, just saying, if Andrew Thomas is just not even like that illness, whatever he has, it affects his game plan. And if Evan Neal, like Coach has said, like I have said, you're rushing him out there because of the fact that Tyree Phillips might not be good, even though he did have a limited practice. It's scary.
Healthy?
No, I don't think he is ready because he's coming off an ACL tear, and it'd be the first game where he'd be playing as a starter, coming off an ACL tear. Our offensive line is a friggin' mash unit going against Micah Parsons, DeMarcus Lawrence, and that Dallas Cowboys pass rush that, like I said, against a Minnesota offensive line that no matter how good you think, even though it's the Dallas Cowboys, they got 7 sacks and were harassing the hell out of Kirk Cousins. Imagine what they could do against a mash unit Giants offensive line. And look what they did against us the first game. The first game, look what they did against us, and we're healthier.
Then you can't let them tee off on your quarterback.
You got to get the ball out quickly. You got to run the ball.
Exactly. And the Giants are going to win this game if they outcoach the Dallas Cowboys. Point blank simple. Because there's no way you're going to win with sheer talent. For talent, given our injuries. Now, if we were fully healthy, I can make an argument for you. But given our injuries, there's no way in freaking hell we're supposed to win this game. So,
ANYG, I'll even say this too.
It's going to be on Kafka, Wink, Dable, and even Thomas McGahee because I'm not giving him a pass too because that's another thing that gets thrown under the radar. This shitty ass special teams unit.
The special teams has been inconsistent
it's fucking garbage.
We don't have a return game.
Some shit. We don't have a return game. We're getting players out there that's fumbling and getting hurt all the goddamn time. Every time you turn around, the offense of the other opposing team has good field position. I don't like it. Graham Gano missed 2 freaking. Now I ain't going to knock Graham Gano. It was windy and all that, but still. This unit as a total, and that's what we judge special teams on, a total unit, they have not been good.
No.
They haven't been.
And even the coverage was very, very suspect. But the thing that the coverage was very suspect in that game. But the thing that scares me also on offense, I could see Dallas's game plan. We're going to try to take out Saquon, take him out of the game. We're going to double up or against Darius Slayton because he's right now without Wandale and Bellinger. Darius Slayton is a real viable threat at that wide receiver position. We're going to take him out of the game. Darius Slayton's been
the only threat all season.
But that's what I mean. Dallas is going to take him out of the game. They're going to try to take him out of the game, double him up, take out Slayton, and say, hey, let's see if Kenny Galladay's bum ass, or let's see if this Isaiah Hodgins kid, Richie James, Tanner Hudson, Chris Myrick, Lawrence Cager, who, if you guys didn't know, he got signed to the active roster. He's part of the roster now. He's part of the team.
Oh, great. He's so wonderful.
I'm just saying, though, they're going to take Slayton and they're going to take Barkley out of the game. And they're going to say, we're going to ask Daniel Jones to step back and try to get the other guys on this team with a very, very, very suspect offensive line and their pass rush to try to beat us. That's not a very great recipe for success if it happens, because they're going to look at that Detroit Lions tape and they're going to do the same exact thing. And now you're talking about a team that doesn't even have Wan'Dale Robinson out there and with an offensive line that is way more beaten up than the first time we played against them. So the matchup wise, it might not look pretty, but like you said, the one way that we can beat them is if Kafka, Dayball, Martindale, McGahee, and I'll even go further than that, NYG and coach, the positional coaches are on the top of their game, and they coach so well
Jerome Henderson has got to be on top of his
it's
game
not even
this
him.
week.
It's everybody.
Yeah, but him in
has to be on
particular
top of their
because
game.
him and Bobby Johnson, because
Yes.
those are the ones where the injuries have hit the most.
And the
It's
wide receivers
secondary
coach too.
and the offensive. Well, the wide receivers are just.
Yeah, but we got to get something. We got to get something. And the thing is, too,
you got Slay. So
And
as long as we got at least Slayton out there, and the ghost of Galladay, I guess we'll be.
but they're going to try to take up. They're going to take Slayton out of the game. I'm telling you right now, Dallas sees what's going on right now. They're going to take Slayton out of the game.
Richie James can catch passes. He can't catch punts, but he can catch passes. So.
I hope so. I hope so. We can do it consistently. But at the same time,
I think we'll be okay there. But the offensive line is a concern.
But the thing is too. The thing is too. Just real quickly. That's why I agree with you guys about the coaching has to be on point, because talent wise right now, especially with all the injuries, we are at we're at big disadvantage right now talent wise. Dallas is just right now more talented and they're more healthy than we are. I know I looked at their injury report too, and they're very banged up as well. But I think for majority of their players will probably be on the field, and they still have that ferocious pass rush. And also, I think their game plan is they're going to look at it. We're going to stack the box. We're going to take Barkley out of the game, and we're going to put our best corner. We're going to try to double up and take Slayton out of the game. Those are the two primary weapons on the Giants.
Screen.
And move the pocket. Move the pocket with Daniel Jones. Move the pocket. I know some
would you
people
try to do those bootleg plays.
And not only that, y'all, but Coach can speak to this because this is more of an X's and O's things. I kind of don't want to see the Giants keep going with that what is it, an inside zone, whatever that shit is, where they run up the middle, like get Barkley.
Inside zone.
Yeah, get Barkley to the outside, man. Get him on the
outside.
They
did that last week.
Here's the thing with inside zones and any type of zone schemes. All right. The only thing with the inside zone, you got to make sure you seal the backside, so this way you give Barkley opportunity to cut back.
Yes,
because that's the thing.
Right.
We're not giving him a backside cut, and he's only forced to go right up into the hole. Now you do run it just to keep the defense honest. Consistently, no, I'm with you guys, but you still have to run it, because if you don't run it,
you run it once or twice, and then maybe on the third time, the end is crashing towards the running back, and then you can pull it out with Jones and get it outside.
But here's the other thing. Switch your personnel. Don't always make it on Barkley.
True that.
Breida
and I said that too. Breida, I said that.
Or even put Breida on the outside. Either running him on some routes and he's getting open. Why don't you try to make Breida into that wide receiver at times too?
You need to get Breida and Jones, Daniel Jones, and people go, "Oh, don't run Daniel Jones." You need to run fucking Daniel Jones. God damn it, this guy's got legs. Yeah,
they're afraid of him getting hurt.
Okay, well, what the fuck you signed Tyrod Taylor for? Excuse me, but what did you sign Tyrod Taylor for? The guys are gonna get hurt. We are a mass unit from a team. So look, we're in a playoff chase right now. Step up or go to hell home. So if they scared about Jones getting hurt, then they must be scared about Jones, period. So don't worry about Daniel Jones getting hurt. Daniel Jones has been better, not saying perfect, but he's been better at getting down and sliding and not taking too many big hits. So run him like you need to run him, because I'm guarantee you Dallas is not going to let Saquon Barkley beat them.
No,
they're not. And they shouldn't. Just like we shouldn't let fucking Tony Pollard beat us.
No, we shouldn't.
But it goes back to what I said earlier, though. Too, they're in the NFL. Pull up your big boy pants, and go out there,
Right.
meet him
What
at
you
the
say?
50,
What
and
you
punch him
say,
in the
Coach?
face.
Turn
Turn
say
it
it,
on
Coach.
and turn it up.
Turn it on and turn it up. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
what the Giants need to do.
yeah.
Yeah, punch
No.
him in the mouth and punch him in the mouth early, like you said. We cannot come out there and let if say Dallas gets the ball. We cannot allow them to just drive down the field and score an easy
No.
touchdown on us. We got to punch them in the mouth and let them know that this is going to be a fight and they're going to be in for a
They're at
battle all
look.
game.
They're at home.
And same thing if we go on
You
offense.
take the ball first. They at home. You take the rock first. You go down there and you immediately score. You know what I'm saying? Kafka and them,
Mhm.
they usually have good scripts for the first couple
Yes.
drives. Jason Garrett did too. After that, he fell apart. He know what the fuck he was doing. But that
Yeah.
first drive, he could get you down there, get you a touchdown. But Kafka's the same way. So go down there, get a touchdown, put the pressure on the fucking Cowboys. Maybe they come out and make a mistake, or Zeke or somebody fumbles, and you go up 10-0 or 14-0. Now you
Yeah.
cooking. Now you can play your game. But if you allow this team to go in there and jump up on you and get that crowd hype, you're gonna be the
Mm.
turkey.
We need to get
You gonna be the
pressure.
turkey. You know what I'm
We,
saying, for Thanksgiving.
we need to get pressure. We have to get pressure on Dak Prescott because if he's sitting back there, if he is sitting
Exactly.
back there and has time, he's going to pick us apart. I'm just
But
being
you
Yeah.
honest.
can't
He's going
you
to pick us
can't
apart.
you cannot get pressure on Dak Prescott if you allow Dallas to run the football.
And that's
It ain't
true.
gonna happen.
And we have to, and we've been struggling at stopping the run. This has got to be the first week. This has got to be the week where we stop that run and not allow
You
Tony
gotta
Pollard and Zeke go up. That's what they did to us the first time. They
Yeah.
had a great, consistent running game. And it was one of the biggest reasons why we lost that game. We could not stop Pollard and we could not stop Elliott. So we
And the
have to be
Giants
able to
haven't
stop
stopped
them.
anybody on the
No,
ground
since
outside
Leo
of
got
Derrick
hurt.
Henry. Outside of Derrick Henry and and I don't even say McCaffrey because he got off a little bit.
He was
But
playing better when Leo got hurt.
right outside of Derrick Henry, the Giants haven't really shut down any of these running backs.
No, they haven't, and that's been the biggest bugaboo. So that's why I would lump the stopping the run mixed in with the pass rush because I think it's going to go hand in hand on if we're going to be able to stop that Dallas Cowboys defense. Because if we can't do one or both, Dallas will pick us apart on defense. They will. They're going to target our cornerbacks and even our young safety and Dane Belton. They will look at that field and they'll be like, you know what? This ain't a Dory Jackson and this ain't Fabian Moreau, and we might have confidence. They'll target that rookie and they'll be able to make plays.
If I'm Dallas,
Ronnie
I'm
said
Dallas,
it's just unbelievable with the injuries. Is very scary. Yeah,
Mhm.
and that's the thing. The injuries are
Or
something,
Schultz.
but you have to understand too, Miss Ronnie, that we've dealt with injuries this season. Most good teams are gonna have to deal with injuries. Yeah, it's a little bit extreme. I will say that with the New York Giants, but given the fact through all the injuries, you still have what? Your best play on offense and your best play on defense. Probably your best, I would say your best three players on offense and defense. Well, maybe not defense, but you definitely got your three best players on offense with Saquon, Daniel Jones, and Andrew Thomas.
Yeah.
Now, on defense, you can argue McKinney and Adoree Jackson would be a part of that, along with Dex and Leo. So maybe you're missing a little bit on defensive end, but on offense, we definitely should be able to hang with the Cowboys.
It's got to be one of these weeks. Gino's
Jeff,
got to show up.
I'm going to say this: if I'm Dallas, offensively, until they stop it, I'm doing this. I'm following the same game plan that Detroit did offensively. You run to pass. You don't pass to run. You run to pass.
Right.
They do have that type of a dynamic, and you run inside because I am concerned with Dexter and Leo. They're getting tired. Leo's coming
Nah,
off the
yeah,
injury,
you said
but
that, coach.
They've been
yeah, but
taking too many reps. That is true.
yeah,
No, I agree with that.
and they wear down and that's all you got to do. That also, in a sense, that speeds up the game. It also takes, in a sense, it kind of, I don't want to say it does completely, but it kind of limits to a certain extent the possibility of major injuries to key players. If anything, you're going to worry about maybe a back running up on the backside of a lineman's legs, things like that. Injuries happen anywhere, but when you run the rock a little bit more, it lessens the opportunity. So instead of possibly running 80 plays, you're going to cut it down to 60 plays, which is cutting down the percentages of guys getting hurt. So if I'm Dallas, and I'm playing our defense until we adjust to stop it. That's what I'm doing. I'm running to set up our pass and pass only when necessary. And that's what I'm telling our guys. Look, guys, it's a short week, great week, against Minnesota, division opponent. It's going to be tough, but as best we can, if we can run the rock, let's run the rock and see what we can do to get in and get out. And, now you could say that's kind of disrespecting our defense. Hmm, that's what I hope they do. And then our defense steps up and punches them back right in the face. And then it changes and forces them to change. But by then, like you saying, NYG, hopefully offensively, we'll have our rhythm going and we're set.
I agree, though.
Yeah.
I do agree with the defense. I really believe now the lack of at the depth at the defensive tackle position is
Mm,
really starting to wear
true.
down both Dex
True.
and Leo. We have no real depth, and those two guys have had to take so many snaps with DJ Davidson and then Nick Williams getting hurt and Justin Ellis really giving
Mm-hmm.
us nothing. Those two guys, Leo
Mm-hmm.
and Dex, have had to play so many snaps, and now they're
Mm-hmm.
both having these little injuries, and they're like you said, they're probably worn down, and it's just
You get
it's such a
tired. Yep.
battle in the middle, especially the way
Mm-hmm.
Dallas's offensive line is starting to play. That they could just run it right up the gut and just, especially right through Leo and Dex. And even on the outside against Thibodeau and Zimenez, Ward, any of these guys are taking a lot of snaps. So I think our defense is just starting to get worn down because the lack of depth and now the injuries coupled with it, it's hurting our defense overall. And you have to wonder, like, how much this defense is going to be able to sustain this type of play with the amount the injuries are going to play a factor, and we're just so beaten up right now. I wonder how much this defense is just going to be able to sustain the fact that we're lacking in depth right now because the players we've had to call up and rely on,
It,
they just guys
it's
just don't have enough snaps
it's
and
the
experience.
offense. It's the offense because
Mm-hmm.
your
That's
Mm-hmm.
part of
offense
it too.
is
Mm-hmm.
not giving the defense any rest. They got too many three and outs. Last game they had turnovers, which is really going to put the defense under stress. And you got to
It's
think
coming down to
too,
coaching.
you're constantly in position to where the defense has to stop the other team from scoring to win the game. How many times have the Giants had that situation where the defense has to had to come on the field and stop the other team from scoring in order for them to win the game?
Way too much.
Mm-hmm.
Way too
That puts a
much.
lot of pressure on your defense. Like
Mm-hmm.
Coach said, it wears your players out
Mm-hmm.
physically and mentally. And mentally. Because mentally you thinking like, damn, we gotta bail these. Let me I was about to say something. But we gotta bail
Mm-hmm.
these jokers out again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and
That
all
probably
it's
pisses them
like,
off.
yeah, it
Probably
does.
pisses them off, like the
You know
fact
what
that
I'm
we have to
saying?
always keep bailing this offense out because the offense just they're not running the ball consistently. They can't move the ball. They're having trouble
Right.
at most of the time
But
moving the
it's
football down the
and
field.
it's not like one particular player like you like, oh, it's the quarterback's fault or it's the
It's a
line. It's
collective
just
unit.
it's a combination. It really is. It's a combination. That's why I can't beat down Daniel Jones. I can't beat down the offensive line, and I can't beat down the wide receivers because as much we talk about the wide receivers, I see Darius Slayton going out there performing. I see Robinson before he got hurt going out there performing. So what's wrong with
That,
some of these other guys? Hodges, he's came in there and do well. That fumble sucked, but
yeah, it did.
he's done okay. So their wide receivers aren't good, nah, but
Yeah,
they're not non-existent.
You
You
want to know
got
the irony
guys
too?
out there that can play.
You know the irony too? We came into the season thinking we had so much depth even at the slot wide receiver position. Now look at it.
You
Tony's
guys
gone.
did.
Well, I thought we did. No, I'll be honest. I thought we did because we did
Nah,
have a
you
lot of
wasn't the
guys
only
that were able to
one.
play that.
You wasn't the only one though, Jeff, and that's why I kept
Well, I
banging
didn't
the
expect
table.
Shepard and I didn't expect Shepard and Robinson to go down with ACL injuries, and I expect Tony to get traded. We had a
I
lot of depth,
expected
especially at that slot wide receiver position. Now look.
I, I expected Shepard to get hurt because he always does. Um, I did not expect Robinson to get hurt, but given that he's 5'8" and like 160, that should tell you something. Tony was unexpected. Nobody could foresee that.
Mm-mm.
And I didn't expect anything out of Galladay. You know that. So that's why I was like, you're gonna need Slayton. Trust me, guys. No, trade him, get rid of him, give him up for a bag of Frito-Lays. Okay, well, now you got YouTubers. I ain't gonna say no name talking about, oh, should we sign Slay to a multi-year deal? A multi-year deal? What? Y'all was the same bum ass cast that was saying trade him.
NYG, you just always got to keep that in mind that you were the first one. You were the first one. Pat was right after, but you were the first one that brought that
I
up.
don't even want credit for that. I just want people to acknowledge they bullshit and how they flip flop. I will
But they're
say,
fans. Fans flip flop all the time. That's what fans do.
But I'll come out here and admit, Jeff, that I was harsh on Daniel Jones. I was calling him a bum. I was saying I was really dogging this dude, and I would say that that was unfair. Now, do I think Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback? Nah, I don't think he's a bum though. I think the Giants can win with him if they giving him some talent around him.
Mm-hmm.
So I would agree with Big Pat and G Nation and them on that, but I don't think he's this big time franchise quarterback. No, I don't think that. But sometimes you got to check yourself. And a lot of these so-called content creators won't do that. They'll just go out there and go with the narrative that's new, that's good, and say, "Hey, look, oh yeah, we think we should sign Slayton." But you was the same one that said cut him for Alec Bachman.
No, it's because they're content creators, but they're also fans. So they flip flop on their opinion once in a while, and after that, and some people just aren't honest with themselves, and they can't admit that, hey, maybe I was a little bit too harsh, or I was wrong about what I said. And I admitted it too. There's a lot of things I've been wrong about that I've
You
admitted.
admit it though, Jeff. You come on here.
I said I
come on here and admit it. Yeah, I come on here.
I said I would have rather had Slayton gone, but at the same time, I said I was absolutely wrong about this dude. The dude is still a good player, and he's going out there. And
but you never dogged him. You never said like get rid of him for a bag of chips or get. No,
I said I would be okay if he's not here or if he's not.
You didn't do that.
Same thing with Jones. Same thing with Barkley. I said at the beginning of the season, my point at the beginning of the season with the Giants was I understand. I don't love seeing some of these guys going. That's including Barkley, Jones, everybody. Shepard, I don't care who it is. I would love to see some of these guys here long term, but I even said at the beginning of the season, if all of them are not here, I understand why, and I'll be okay with it. I won't love it, but I understand and I'll be fine with it. And that was the same thing with Slayton. If he didn't make the roster, I understood it. I was fine with it. Same thing if he made the roster.
That, Jeff? You know why you feel like that? Because you are a Giants fan. You're not a fan of a player. You're a fan of the team. And that's how I am. I'm a fan of the team. I'm a fan of the team. You know, so whatever happens to OBJ, whatever happens to Slay, whatever happens to Barkley or any of the players that I personally like, I'm still going to be a Giants fan.
Yeah.
OBJ got traded. Steve Smith got traded. Shockey got traded. Tiki retired.
Yeah.
Plaque shot himself. Those are all some of my favorite players.
Yeah, NYG. Tuck was my favorite defensive player of all time that I got to grow up and watch. And that
O.C. Yomayura went to the fucking Falcons.
Bradshaw was my favorite offensive player. I loved Ahmad Bradshaw. I loved that dude so much because of what he did for that team.
Bradshaw.
That crushed me when he left early. That crushed me. I felt horrible when he left. That was
Shit,
one of those ones that
Jacobs.
blew. That was a
When
blow.
Jacobs
Jacobs
went to
was
the
too.
49ers, that shit pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell you
Hakeem
doing?
Nicks. When he
Ah,
left eventually, that hurt me too. Steve
yeah.
Smith, I love Steve Smith. I got his freaking jersey in my closet as much as I love Steve Smith.
Yeah. And he
But you
went to
know
the
what?
fucking Eagles of all teams.
But you know what? We didn't give up our Giants cards. We didn't become fans to be like, we're going to bounce to another team because our favorite player's there. I love Sterling Shepard. Nobody loves Sterling Shepard on this team more than I do. But if he's on another team, I'm not all of a sudden going to bounce to another team because Sterling Shepard's there. I'm still going to be a Giants fan. And that one will crush me when he leaves. But you know what? I'm still a Giants fan like the rest of us. Like we all would if Barkley leaves or Jones leaves or anybody. It's about the Giants. It's not about the player. And it's the same thing with this whole OBJ stuff. We all love OBJ. We're all nostalgic about OBJ and what he did before. But if he ends up not coming back, I am not going to go out there. I'm not going to go out there and start crushing this dude because he decided not to sign with the Giants and just start being bitter towards him. No, it's about the Giants. It's not about the individual player because these individual players will come and go over the years, no matter who it is. It's about the Giants, and that's all that matters. And that's really the one thing that fans sometimes, especially nowadays, get lost with is they concern themselves way too much with the player individually, more about the team and what the team represents in the organization.
Ronnie says they were just not prepared. McKinney injury changed the beat of the defense. Yeah, I agree. That McKinney injury
The
did
Dory one killed him.
hurt, but I will agree with Jeff on this one. Adoree hurts more. Definitely. You cannot look, Adoree Jackson. People need to put some spec on Dory Jackson's name.
They do.
Adoree Jackson, and I heard somebody talking about it too. They said the tackling was bad. Well, Adoree Jackson was tackling his fucking ass off.
He was.
Adoree Jackson was coming up, making run stops, tackles for losses, hitting, blitzing. The guy was doing every fucking thing, and they put him out there to do one too many things, and it cost him. So, I will agree. Adoree Jackson is much more missed than Xavier McKinney. I'm telling you right now, Giants
Coach
fans,
said it. Coach said it.
don't be surprised if Xavier McKinney is one of the ones that the Giants don't bring back.
I agree.
I'm telling you, they like Julian Love over McKinney, and they drafted Dane Belton for a reason. They did not draft Dane Belton to replace Julian Love.
I
Now,
agree.
I'm Unpopular Opinion Sports. Y'all hit that like button or dislike button if you disagree. But the fact of the matter is, I'm always giving you the real spill of how I feel. And I really truly feel like, and this is not how I feel. This is how I think the Giants feel. I think they value Julian Love over Xavier McKinney. And what what happened to McKinney, it was unfortunate, but I think that kind of puts more of an emphasis for them to want to move forward with Love instead of McKinney. Now we'll see next year because McKinney's going to be here. He's not going anywhere now. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But next year, you might see the Giants explore possibly trading him or just outright letting him go after next season. So don't be surprised, y'all, if McKinney, who everyone loves, is not here for the foreseeable future. Because I'm telling you right now, they're going to sign Julian Love to a contract, and they're not going to want to tie up, given you got to pay your quarterback and running back and possibly a wide receiver down the line, because you're going to need one of those, whether you get them in the draft or whether you trade for one. You're going to have to pay a wide receiver at some point. Even if you just bring Slayton back, you're going to have to give him some type of change. So, given that, I don't see them bringing McKinney back. I just don't.
And, Coach,
Hmm.
What were we talking about when you were doing the broadcast with the Giants when Adoree went down? You brought up the point that Wink Martindale had to change his entire
Hmm.
aspect on that defense when Adoree went
Hmm.
down. That's how big of a loss it is because he was able to call his defense because he had a shutdown cornerback on the outside that
Mm-hmm.
could take one of the top wide receivers out of the game.
True.
And the
Very
second,
true.
the second Adoree went down, Wink had to change it up because he look what the guys he had to rely on out there. No disrespect to them, but they don't have the type of playmaking abilities in the run game and the coverage that Adoree Jackson
I have
does.
to check that out, Ronnie. She says the Willie Mays story,
I gotta check that out
HBO.
too. But
I have to check
NYG,
that out.
just to get to your point real quickly, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I actually 1,000% agree with your point about love. We've all this is how I strongly believe, and if anybody disagrees with me, that's okay. I believe Love is one of those players you can't let go because I believe he's a glue player, and you need those types of players on your
And he's a
team.
leader.
He's a leader, exactly. He's a lead. He's a captain on the team
And
for a
they wanted
reason,
McKinney to be that leader, and he failed them. You know what I'm
and Love
saying?
hasn't. He stepped up.
I don't disagree with what McKinney did. I came on here. I said that. I don't
No, I
think
don't
it's
either.
I don't think it was egregious or what he did. But the fact of the matter is, if it's a rule in place or some type of contract issue, see, I didn't know that at first,
Standard
but
contract.
if it is, then you broke your contract. I think it is some bullshit. I would push back on it if I was McKinney too, but he did the right thing. He owned up to it. He said sorry, whatever, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, your organization is looking at you to be a leader
Mhm.
of this secondary, and then you go out there and get yourself suspended. I mean, hurt, basically suspended, but hurt more or less from doing something that you shouldn't have been doing, or your contract says you shouldn't have been doing if you was honoring your contract. So I don't agree with the contract part. That's something like you said the players association is gonna have to deal with. But if that is in his contract and he violated it, then that's on him.
That's every player's contract. Every athlete in all sports because they don't want to take the risk because they're investing millions of dollars into them,
Yep.
and not only the money but the time and a whole lot of other resources. So it's supposed
Mm,
because guys can't technically guys are not even supposed to go play pickup basketball.
yeah.
That's stupid. That's what
No,
I'm saying.
because they're getting hurt, and sometimes the injury is so
But you can get
devastating.
hurt walking in the airport. I
No,
sprained my ankle,
I
and
get that.
I
Yeah.
had. I'm telling you, literally sprained my ankle on vacation, going to the airport, and we basically had to cancel our plans for a week until my ankle got better to where I could walk.
And Roger,
So
I get what you're saying in terms of the feel, but if you're looking at it from the bit, see, that's the whole thing. Look at it from the business perspective. You're investing millions, hundreds of
yeah, no,
millions of
I can
dollars.
see that. I can see it from the
So,
business
and it's
perspective,
even in
though.
the
Yeah.
NBA. It's in the NBA. They can't do some of this stuff. It's
Yep.
not just football. It's basketball. It's baseball. All of them. They
Yep.
can't do this, and that's in their contract. And actually, that's negotiated across the spectrum in all sports. They can't do it.
Hmm.
And
And
yeah,
that's
you might say it's stupid. It doesn't make sense to you. But if you look at it from a business perspective, I understand why it makes why they do it. I understand the logic. I don't agree with it, but I get it. I understand. Let a
Me
man
too.
be a man and do whatever he wants in the off season. He gets hurt. He gets hurt. You deal with it as you come. But they're like, yo, we're investing all this money, and we ain't taking no more chances like that, man. And I
Ronnie
get it.
says they cannot get hurt off season and vacation. You forgot what Brady did jumping off the cliffs in the islands 3 years
Hmm.
ago. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that's the thing. He paid the fine and lost money. Right. So
Hmm.
that's what I'm
Didn't he
saying.
lose
I
his
don't
seat too? Did he lose his captain? Because he was a captain, McKinney.
I think he might.
uh
He might. I don't know. I don't remember that.
I don't know. I don't know if he lost his captaincy or not. I know Houston took it from Brandon Cooks' ass though
Yeah.
Yeah.
when
So
he asked for that trade. So
yeah. So
I don't
when
know. Maybe they
when
did.
guys And when they do that, I understand. And you know what? Bottom line is that's contractually. I mean, that's negotiated in your CBA and things of that nature, and in your contracts. That's
Yeah.
where you know what you have your agent. You got to take that out. You
I
know
could
what?
see your I could see your point, coach, but I definitely don't agree with it.
No, I agree. I don't agree with it. I mean, look, I'm like, yo, things can happen. You could guys are falling out coming out of the shower, so it happens. But their
Right.
thinking is, you know what, you're putting yourself at greater risk going out there and doing other things as opposed to normal everyday things. And I get that. But I'm like, okay, well, you go on vacation, you go in the water, you step on a stingray or something of that matter. You know, are they not supposed to be able to do that also? Just because you work for them? Because
What
that's
about
all it
going
is.
right? What about going in the weight room or going to the facility or stepping on the practice field
No,
getting
that's
hurt?
different.
But that's right. It's that's different. But you can't
It's
step out on a yard or on your own time and get hurt. You can only get hurt on the
no. I'm not
NFL's
saying get
time,
hurt on your.
and then that's a problem if you go out and something happens to you on your own time. See, it's a little bit of a double standard that I don't
No,
agree
it's
with.
doing things that put you at greater risk. Riding, ATVs because there really is no security.
But what
Race
puts
car
you
racing.
at greater risk though? You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to define. What
Well,
is that?
there is
You know what I
no
mean?
there is no support. And how many times you guys get hurt? You pull up the percentages of injuries in all phases of life of people getting hurt. So yeah, you do look at that. You do look at
Mhm.
racing a car. You do look at guys in the pros for years have gone out and played in basketball games and have gotten hurt. Now, if you go to your team and ask because it's publicity, 9 times out of 10, they might say, "Yeah,
Yeah,
just
if
be
they making
careful."
money off of it,
But that's the
publicity, of
point. That's
course.
the point.
It
Because
is.
you are a commodity to them. That's
Mm,
just the bottom line. You're a
Right.
commodity and you're an investment and they want a return on their investment. If
yeah.
you're paying a guy
Mm,
10, $20 million and he can't start the season
mm.
because he broke his hand, do bungee jumping, you know what? I'm investing 20 freaking $1 million in you and you're going to do something stupid like this?
Yeah.
And
Nah,
again, it's in
I can see both sides. I
yeah,
really
no,
can.
I
Yeah.
get it. I
I
get
really
it.
can.
But I'm with you. I don't agree with it all the time. I'm
I
like,
don't
no,
agree with it either.
let guys
But
be but guys. But it's
in,
enough about that.
in terms of like the whole, I think when it comes down to the whole Love and McKinney and all that stuff situation, I want to see where Dane Belton is in terms of his play. I want to see where Dane Belton is overall as a player, and maybe that'll make the decision a little bit more complicated on what you do with Love and or
They
McKinney.
lost.
Is what's going to happen with Dane Belton?
Wow, Syracuse.
They lost to St. John's.
Yeah, they lost in overtime. It was
Mm,
65-65, and they lost 76-69.
That's a
damn it!
good transition. Because we about to wrap this thing up. Like I said, it's over 3:14. I said I
Oh,
wasn't going over 3 hours.
oh,
Y'all about to
let's
get my ass again on a 4 or 5 hour
no, no, no,
straight.
no,
It's
no, no,
like
no, no. Let's
we
wrap
Close
not
it
it.
gonna
out.
do
I'll shut
we
up
not
now.
we're not gonna do that tonight, fellas.
Mm-mm.
No,
But
my
We,
ass is going to
but
sleep.
I
me
got work to
too.
do.
But what we will do is give coach his time, man, with coach's corner,
Make
man.
it quick too for you. Well, I mean, I just touched it real quick. In terms of local basketball, between St. John's and Syracuse, St. John's won, going to go 6-0. Syracuse lost, and they're now 3-2 on the season. Um, so it was definitely a good game. Went to overtime. Let me see the stats real quick. Who's the leading scorer for for Syracuse was Judah Mitz with 20 points and Jess Edwards with 18. St. John's, you had David Jones with 18, Joel Soriano with 19, and Andre Corbello with 23. So that's that. So they next up for Syracuse in basketball after this. They host Bryant's on the 20 Saturday on the 26th. So before they travel to next Tuesday to Illinois, number 16 Illinois. So they definitely need to rebound against Bryant. So because that Illinois game is going to be tough. Rutgers rebounded from their loss. And let me see. Last week, Syracuse lost to Colgate, beat Northeastern, and beat Richmond. So that's why they're now 3-2 on the season. Rutgers, they won tonight. They beat Rider 76-46
4 and 1.
to go to
Rutgers.
four
Shout
and
out
one.
Rutgers.
Leading scorer for Rider was Dwight Murray with 17 points. For Rutgers was Cliff Omaruri, with 20, and Cam Spencer, who's definitely shining with 19. They didn't have their two veteran guys, Paul McCahey and um, I forgot his name. Help me, Jeff. Help me, Jeff. Whatchamacallit? Caleb. Um, Caleb didn't play all, so he hasn't played all season. So, but they rebounded because they also had a tough loss on what was it on? When did they play them? They played Temple on.
Oh, that was
Rutgers special. I think it was it on
the
Sunday? I think it
18th.
was.
The 18th, yeah.
Yeah, so they rebounded. So they had to rebound. So it's definitely needed because their schedule right now, their next game after Ryder, Central Connecticut
Connecticut.
State on Saturday before they travel down to Miami on next Wednesday. So then they always end up having a tough time down in Miami. So it's going to start getting tougher for Rutgers now, because they go Miami, host number 11, Indiana, go to Ohio State before the big one with Seton Hall. So the level of competition will be stepping up. So, but right now they're 4-1 on the season. So they're looking to be a good team, and they definitely needed this one to rebound. So, in terms of football, let me start with Syracuse. Syracuse lost on Saturday to Wake Forest, 45-35. Uh,
Damn.
Garrett Schrader had a decent day, 17-31, 24 yards, one touchdown, one interception. Sean Tucker rebounded, getting over 100 yards, 106 yards on 16 carries, two touchdowns. And Arante Gatson with six receptions for 85 yards, 14.2 average. And Damian Alford, two receptions, 57 yards, 28.5 yards there. They fall to 6-5. So they definitely have to step it up because they've been trending downward. This week they go to Boston College. So I mean, Boston College isn't a good team, so they have to step up. Because they started 6-0, and now they've lost the last 5 games: Clemson,
Mm,
Notre Dame, Pittsburgh, Florida State, and now Wake Forest. So
5 in a row. That's
yeah,
not good.
so it's definitely not good. So, but they're still in the bowl, so that's always a good thing. It's just that what bowl, after being ranked so high early in the season. So, so it's kind of disappointing in that regard.
What you cooking, Ronnie?
At least further in the CAA.
She about to cook.
What are you
Go
cooking,
ahead, coach.
touchdown chef?
I was just messing with Ronnie. Go ahead, coach.
Oh, Miami closed out the season first in the CAA, which is one of the top um, FCS levels, other than the Big Sky, which houses North Dakota State. This conference has had I think six schools that have won the FCS national championship. So this is a good test for Miami to see where they are. They ended at 5-6. So going into wait a minute, did they do they? Wait a minute, I thought they had 6 games. No, they're done. Okay, yeah, they're done. They thought they had 12 games. So, but it's a good test. This game, their leading rusher, what's his name? Jaden Surdin, 23 carries, 155 yards. The kid is fast. I saw him. Happened to turn it on, and he broke away. I think it was like a 60-something yard touchdown run. And when I say he left
Wow,
everyone.
halfback.
Yeah, running back. Yeah,
Mm.
and he's also the Player of the Year in the CAA, which is a big accomplishment. So you're going to be expecting big things going into next year. I think that can also help them in recruiting, especially down in the Jersey Shore, because there's a lot of talent down there. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely going to be looking for Monmouth next year. Going on to Princeton, disappointed, greatly disappointed in Princeton. They lost to the Penn Quakers. They finished their year at 8-2, but it always seems to happen with them. The last two games of the season, they always seem to spiral out and lose it. They
Mm-hmm.
finished third in the Ivy, so the Ivies don't go into the playoffs, so you have to win the conference to be the champion. And they lost to Penn and they lost to Yale, who ended up being 1-2. Yale number one and Penn number two. And those are the two teams they lost to. Otherwise, they would have been the champions and they would have been undefeated. But tough season for them to go out like that. Anytime they lose like that, like I said, it's always tough, and I'm expecting more from Coach Surace, because I've spoken to Coach Bob before, and good dude, knows his game, but I definitely expect more out of them. So, but again, like I
Mm.
said, disappointing. So, women's basketball,
Mm.
Rutgers, not a good one. They after they wait a minute, where am I at? Oh, Central. They beat NC Central 66-45 on Wednesday, but then
Woo.
they went on a 3-game slide. Lost to number 23 Tennessee 94-54 on Saturday. Lost to San Diego State on Sunday 75
Wait a minute. Wait a wait
56.
a minute. 94-54.
Mm-hmm. And then they lost to number
Oh, that's
19 Texas
oh,
82
that's
to
Tennessee
44.
though. They
Yes.
yeah, the Vols. Yeah, the Lady
Yes.
Vols. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they've
Now,
always been one of the most dominant
Yeah,
teams in
yeah,
women's
they
basketball in the
yeah, I
playoffs.
can't hold you
Even
on
after
that one.
Pat
Yeah.
Summitt's passing,
but
unfortunately, they're still a very good team.
don't forget the biggest thing with Rutgers. They only had 8 scholarship players. So
Yes.
they're playing
Mm.
behind the gun, so I mean, because when I looked at San
Nah,
Diego
losing to
State,
the
I
Lady
mean, I said
Vols, that's
South
different.
Dakota State, I said San Diego, South Dakota State. But right now they're at 3-3 on the year, so it's going to be tough for them going forward. Because they're going to have a lot of tough games. Um, let's see, Sunday they host Cornell before they go to Boston College by next Wednesday. So before they start to get into the Big Ten play, so it's going to be tough for them. Rutgers men's soccer, they made the NCAAs, but they ended up losing in the first round, so their season came up short, but it was an accomplishment just winning the Big Ten Conference, so kudos to them. Went over here it is. Rutgers football. Devastating, devastating, devastating,
uh,
devastating loss to Penn State. They lost 55-10, and
uh,
they had the opportunities in the beginning of the game, but it just didn't pan out. Again, as I've been saying, freshman quarterback Gavin Wimstat was 10 of 29 for 122 yards, one touchdown, one interception, and the rushing game was completely shut down. I mean, it was 25-20, so
10 of
30.
29. What the
Yeah,
hell?
30. So 54 minus 13. So they had 41 yards of total rushing. So, and Penn State, Sean Clifford was 17-26, 157 yards. Running, they gave up over 250 yards, it looks like, real quick. Led by Katron Allen, 11 carries, 117 yards. This week, they close out the season traveling down to Maryland. They have to, get that win just to end up at 5-7 to match last year's record. Otherwise, they're going to close out at 4-8 because right now they're at 4-7. But I said earlier, a large percentage of their two deep is players who were recruited under Ash. And once they phase out, Shiano will be able to bring in other guys. He's already hitting the recruiting trail. Even just signed a preferred walk on. Was it yesterday or today? I think it was yesterday. Kid from down the shore. No, I'm sorry, from Ramsey, New Jersey. It's a little bit of something there, but in due time, he could develop into something as a defensive back. Um, not overly fast, but again, it comes to football is recruiting. That's really what it boils down to. And Rutgers has to recruit, and they have to bring it in. Otherwise, it's going to continue to be a long one. But as Shiano said in his presser, it's going to take time. He sees it. He sees the kids. What they're doing in practice, and with everything, and with his coaching philosophy. One of the things that he's always teaching is not just the X's and O's, and not just in development, but his biggest thing is why, understanding why. Because he says, once you understand why, you can find out, is it coaching, which leads to a misunderstanding? If it's player learning, it's coming from misunderstanding from players, or is it execution? Because of the why. Is it nerves because of execution? Are they basically going out their first time, or are the opponents just basically better than them? So going into scheme, execution, and a mental approach. So but I trust Shiano. I think he's going to continue to grow it and put the football program in the right um, continue development, because they're headed in the right direction. So
Yeah,
that's
I
that's
agree,
important.
coach. I do. I
Mm-hmm.
agree. I agree with you because I think that Rutgers has always been a flagship college in the tri-state area. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Rutgers has always been a top-notch college. You know what I'm saying? Along with St. John's and Syracuse as well. But Rutgers
Mm-hmm.
has definitely been up there, man, as one of those top colleges, man. So I definitely do want to see Rutgers get back on track, man. And hopefully, man, hopefully we can get something out of this area, man, as far as college football is concerned. Because look, coach, I want to be a college football fan. I really do, but I want a team that I can really root. I just growing up, we just had college basketball. That's all we had. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we
Mm-hmm.
didn't
Mm-hmm.
necessarily have college football or somebody like you, like a real coach to teach us football. You know, we just
Mm-hmm.
played, you know what I'm saying, two-hand touch, 3-second hold.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, in the streets, you know what I'm saying? That's pretty much how I knew football. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely do want to see a program like that rise up just for the youth. You know what I'm saying? The
Mm-hmm.
kids that are in poverty. You know what I mean? To for them to have something to look forward to, for them to have an outlet to where they don't have to choose the streets. They can go play football, or they can go
Mm-hmm.
to basketball practice, or they can go to Boy Scouts or different things like that. These are some of the opportunities that I had as growing up as a kid. That's why I was able to avoid that type of street um you
Life
know
mentality. I got you.
activity. You know what I'm saying? You're always going to be exposed to it, but it doesn't mean you always have to go down that path. So I definitely do want to see Syracuse, St. John's, Rutgers build their programs and get some of these kids off the streets, man, in the city. But well said,
Mm-hmm.
coach, man. Well said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Awesome job, coach. As
Yeah.
always, what a fantastic job.
No, thank you guys.
Let's get to a couple comments, man. Gonna leave out with the chat, man. Big fan Breezy. I see you, bro. Look, I put the link in the chat earlier. We was talking Brooklyn Nets. But I do want to holler at you about something. You know what I'm saying? But I'll holler at you. Let's put it like that, man. But shout out to Big Fan Breezy, man. You know what I'm saying? Always supporting the show. That's my bro. You already know what it is.
Bam, Ronnie.
Miss Ronnie. She
That's why
cooking
she's
up
the touchdown chef.
some shizzle bam shiznick. She got greens, mac and cheese, wings, cranberry sauce, gravy, desserts,
You name it.
pies, and cakes.
You
Can't
name
Ronnie,
it.
man, you're getting us all hungry up here on this panel.
I
can't beat
got
that.
Good
Yeah.
greens,
stuff.
green. What's that song go by Shirley Caesar too?
Oh, I got greens. Yeah, I love me
Yeah,
greens, beans.
yeah. Go ahead, Miss Ronnie. Yes. If my
she,
girls weren't coming over, I'd be calling you to come over to
and
hang
she
out with
said,
you.
I'm just halfway done. I will be up all night tomorrow. Facts. Okay.
Damn.
Mm,
That's what's up. Mac and cheese. Then I know what the time it is.
mm-hmm.
Yum, yum, yum. Exactly.
Is that buffalo
Exactly.
or barbecue wings, Ronnie? Actually, no, it doesn't even matter. Either of them are probably gonna be delicious. You can even make them. You can even
Nah.
make them like
It's
spicy
just
barbecue.
it's just gonna be wings. I already know what she's trying to do. It's gonna
Oh,
be
I see.
wings and you put the what you want on it. But the wings is what's
Good point.
yeah, the wings is it. You do what you
Yeah.
want with
Give
it,
me
but
some.
yeah, I'm making the wings.
Give me some Jack Daniels. Give me some Jack Daniels sauce.
Uh,
All right.
yeah, do what
Yeah.
you want with it.
Exactly.
For real.
Exactly.
Some bourbon sauce.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Some jalapeno sauce, whatever you want to do
Ooh.
with it, man.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Do what you want with it, man. She says
Garlic sauce.
happy
Mm-hmm.
birthday to
Michael.
Strahan. I guess it's Michael Strahan's birthday today, man. That's
Oh,
what's up, man.
bourbon. All
Bourbon
right.
wings. There we go.
Bourbon wings. Now you're
Mm-hmm.
talking.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There we go. There we go, man. But
That's good stuff.
we're gonna close it out, man. I'm not gonna go any longer.
No problem.
Breezy, inbox me, bro. We're gonna do a show because I know you want to get on here, man, and talk
You
your
better be
talk
pissed, bro.
with the Brooklyn. You know he is. You know what I'm saying? But he ain't gonna show it because he's big fan Breezy. He got to be optimistic, man. Big Breezy's like the big Pat of the Nets community. He's always optimistic and has the perfect outlook for the team. But I sometimes disagree, much like I do with Pat. But you know, that's all love, man. With the bros, you know what I'm saying? But
Mm-hmm.
um, we're gonna get a shot. We're gonna give a shout out to
Thank you.
um
Thank you,
my
Ronnie.
brand, Go Travels. As we get out here, Go Travels helping people get out and explore the world. The world. Go Travels will help you get out and travel, experience new adventures anywhere. We specialize in travels throughout North, Central, and South America, but we can also help you find special places around the world. We will be your guiding hand as you create engaging, long lasting, and lifetime memories. However, if you wish to get to your destination via land, air, or sea, Go Travels, we got you. One you can count on when you need to go. In addition to travel adventures, we can help you set up your travel plans for sporting events. Want to go to that New York Giants Dallas Cowboy game? We got you. Want to go see the Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles? We got you. Whatever you need. Want to go to Disney World? Great Adventures, King's Dominion? We got you. You know what I'm saying? So we will experience you at catering to all your travel needs. When you are traveling outside the US, we will make sure you get all your paperwork needed. If you need a visa, we got you. If you need a passport, we got you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you need. So to book a travel, please go visit us at our website at www.getouttravels.com. That's Get Out Travels. That's GETOUTRAVELS.com. So that being said, y'all, it's late. I'm tired, obviously. So we're gonna get on up out of here, man. But once again, man, shout out to my two co-hosts. Shout out to this chat room that's been jumping all night. Shout out to Levance. Um, Shout out to my wife, of course, each and every day. Shout out to Miss Ronnie holding us down in the chat. Shout out to my main man, big fan Breezy with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. He gonna always give you the real spill when it comes to the Brooklyn Nets. Shout out to Nimmer, man. a nervous Knick fan, man, but a loyal supporter of this channel and of the Giants community, man. We definitely love you and support you, Nimmer. Mitch, man. Shout out to Mitch, man. You know what I'm saying? Popping up, man, when he's on the up and come up with his Philadelphia teams. But I will surely
Ah,
be I will surely be on his podcast when those Eagles lose to the Giants. Trust me and believe that. Tudo. Definitely got to give
Mm-hmm.
Tudo a big, huge shout out, man. He supports all Giants content creators, man, including
mhm,
myself, including Jeffy, including Coach.
mhm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we definitely got to shout him out. Blue City Empire, another loyal supporter, man. Shout out to
Mhm.
you, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you coming in, popping in, always showing support. Appreciate my man Super Taj World, always coming in, popping in, showing support. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate each and every one of you guys, man, and
Yes.
girls and gals. Bookends tackle, man. Another supporter, man. Appreciate you, bro. Tommy for one, Tommy, man. Appreciate you too, man. Tommy got that score dead on, man. People, I need to post that, man. But Tommy's not on Twitter, so I don't really want to post it on Twitter. But I kind of want to post it to like his um I don't know, private chat or something, because he did get it right. It was 24-16, and that's exactly what he said, yo. He said 24-16, the Giants was gonna win. That was the Houston Texans game. That wasn't the Lions game. But shout out to Tommy. And I don't know if I missed anybody. If I missed you, my bad, man. But definitely peace and love to everybody, man. But we gonna get on up out of here, man. I'm gonna give my co-host the last words, man. Just tell them where they can find y'all at, man. Jeff, Coach.
Go ahead, Jeff.
Well, first, I just saw the news that if anybody was expecting Aziz Ojulari to play in Thursday, he's not. Dayball officially said he's not going to be activated this week, so no Ojulari, another game. But
Mm.
in terms of you can find me over at
I'm gonna pick
NYG
it up.
Jeffy T 85. Cover the Giants, cover the Nets. It's going to be very. Just wait until tomorrow morning. I'm going to light up this team tomorrow morning. I cover the Mets. I cover WWE. I also cover AEW as well. So I just want to say thank you guys, everybody that came by the chat tonight. And I hope everybody has a very happy and very safe Thanksgiving with your family, your friends, and all your loved ones. Happy Thanksgiving, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday night. Wednesday morning, actually. Yeah, Wednesday morning. I forgot what day it is.
All right. It's Coach Ed. I'm the Coach Ed Gladney. You can find me on Coach Ed Gladney's Amazing World of Sports on YouTube. Do a wide variety of sports. Love the college game, especially college football. Big Giants fan, Knicks fan, Yankees fan, but I'm a fan of all sports, all teams. Just love the game, especially football. Just love it, love it, love it. Um, Look to give you different breakdowns. Um, I have to do a chalk talk. I'm working on another women's in sports episode. I'm even talking to one of my former players. I might be bringing you youth program interviews. So I'm just trying to work out all the logistics, especially YouTube, because we know how that is. You know how that works with having kids on there, how that all goes. So I'm just working out all those logistics, but that's my goal to bring that out, among other things. I'm also looking to interview some of my former players, so I touch base where they are, and they can talk to you about what I bring to them as what I've brought to them as players. So a whole while a range of things that I'm looking to bring to this YouTube family. I'm also looking to grow and develop, build my graphics, everything. And I'm always here. Anyone has questions, I'm here to answer them as best I can. And I'm not afraid to learn. I humble myself to learn from any of you. If you have things that you feel I need to learn, hey, hit me up. It's only going to make me better. So, as far as this holiday weekend, everyone enjoy the food, most importantly, enjoy the time with family, because that's what's most important. We get caught up in everything else, but it's always about the family. You know, you got kids, grandkids, siblings, your parents. Life is special, but life is short. So, enjoy it. And if you're making good food, share with a big fat guy over here. I love to eat, so.
Uh-huh.
but seriously,
uh,
everyone, be safe out there. Enjoy yourselves, and look forward to seeing and interacting everyone later on, either this weekend or next week on Heart of the City. Much love and respect, everyone.
Most definitely, man. Well said, man. And man, I appreciate you, man, dearly, brother.
Always,
You know what I
always.
mean? You
Mm-hmm.
and Jeffy, man. You know what I'm saying? Because you definitely helped me out a lot. You guys bring a lot of perspective to myself and to the fans out there that listen and support us and support the Giants and the Nets and the Yankees and every other team that we cover. So, you know what I'm saying? Again, man, shout out to the chat, man. Shout out to Levance, man. You know what I'm saying? I ain't forgot
Mm-hmm.
about you, bro. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? My number one, man. That's my day one chat member.
Yeah.
First one in my chat consistently all the
Mm-hmm.
time, man. Trust
Mm-hmm.
me, you will trust me. I got you, bro. You will definitely be rewarded, man. When I get my subscribers up, I'm 16 away from 100, y'all. So when I get my
Mm-hmm.
subscribers up, all y'all coming up with me. Trust and believe that, man. That's how I do, man. I'm a family man, and
Uh,
I trust and love my people, man. You know what I'm saying? But that being said, this is your boy NYG Double Deuce. You can find me at the same tag NYG22 on Twitter or Unpopular Opinion Sports on YouTube. Catch me here, Heart of the City. I do my Giants conversations on Sunday. We might not have one this Sunday. I'm still debating on whether I'm gonna do one or not, but because the Giants play on Thursday, so maybe we'll come out with something tomorrow. If not, it don't matter. All you guys and ladies have a blessed holiday season. Have a blessed Thanksgiving. Eat good, but don't eat too much. And please, please enjoy this Giants, hopefully, ass whipping of the Dallas Cowboys on Thursday. That being said, man, y'all like, share, and subscribe. We're getting on up out of here, man. Till next time, y'all. Peace.
Take it easy, everyone.